Hi, everybody. Welcome. A lot of kinetic energy in this podcast today. A lot of fucking energy. And I'm happy about that. It's going to be fun. Welcome to the show. My name is Dean, brought to you by our friends over at Easy Auto Financial. Easy Auto Financial, the people that get you in cars. Need financing? Don't have it. Bad credit? Go to easyautofinancial.ca. You don't have to pay for anything, and they'll approve you. They're nice people. easyautofinancial.ca. Of course, domination.com. Dominate with your content by going to dmntn.com today. Check them out. There are people that have AI that help you produce promos in minutes instead of hours. Way easier than cutting and pasting. No one likes to cut and paste. So use Domination, dmntn.com. It'll save you all kinds of time. 70 pieces in like 40 minutes, not even 5 minutes maybe. dmntn.com. Try them for free today. And of course, Ed's Fine Imports and his Gitch, they're on our body. You can have them too. Go to edsfineimports.com. Well, what do we have here, I say? Please welcome to the program my friend James DeFiore from Blackballed the Podcast, Ryan Lindley from the Sheeple Shepherd Podcast, Lachlan Cross from 95.7 Cruise FM, and a guest that actually needs an introduction here, but not in Windsor, Ontario, where there's a big Ambassador Bridge blockade with all the flu trucks, clanners, all the psychos, all the white supremacists, the White Privilege Parade. Please welcome a friend of mine for 25 years, and I actually got my start in radio with him in Windsor, Mike K. Cook from AM 800 CKLW.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Great to be here today. Big fan of the show. Big fan of all your work that you do on a daily basis.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeoman's effort to all.
I was bored.
I know, but I tried to sell it, Dean. Come on.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. How are you? I haven't seen you. We were just talking about known you for 25 years.
Crazy.
You
world.
and I started in radio today, back when you had a snake. Do you remember that snake that we used to take to clubs sometimes? Do you remember the snake? Do you still have? Do you still have the snake?
Or darker? This little facial thing I got going on was a lot darker, but a long time ago. But times have changed certainly here in the city of Windsor over the last, especially last 48, 72 hours with what's happening down at the bridge.
Yeah. So what
Mike looks like a snake guy.
He is a snake guy.
You do.
When we knew each other,
look.
he had a snake that he used to take with him. Just kind of take it around, and sometimes he showed it to people, sometimes he wouldn't. And it was a scary snake. I can't get into the details of this snake, but you don't have it anymore. You don't take it around. You're a dog guy now, right?
Yeah, I'm a dog guy. Lulu's, I always do this. Right behind me right there.
She is.
Yeah, with her DOG sweater, so it's official. We know what she is. Yeah.
If you had that snake around, that dog wouldn't be there.
You guys aren't talking in code. It's an actual snake. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he was a snake guy for a while. Younger, you get older, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm a
Can
dog
we move
guy.
on?
We can. Anyway, so listen, Mike Cook has been doing mornings at AM 800 with Lisa Williams for many years. And you're the local news station, right? You really do keep people informed. And the Flu Trucks clan, which we'll get to in a minute, made its way down. And I was kind of shocked, like out of nowhere yesterday. I'm like, oh, the bridge is closed. Oh, that's weird. I wonder what it is. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, there's the same fucking degenerates doing the same shit. And when did that happen? And how did you kind of know about it? Like, did you guys get a warning that they would be blocking the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor?
Started to kind of like just take kind of a life of its own after everything that happened in Ottawa and then Toronto and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden we start hearing about people going down here in Church, which is the big road to the Ambassador Bridge, the main entrance. And that's the one, too, that the trucks come off from the States to go into Windsor to, get to the 401 to ship all everything out to everybody in Ontario and the rest of Canada. And even just earlier this week, I was going down there, and there were people in their trucks and vans and stuff slowing down traffic in the two right lanes. So that was kind of the beginning of it. It was not a really big deal, but I don't know. It frustrated me. So I kind of peeled out to the left and got around them. But then it just grew, and then all of a sudden, like yesterday afternoon. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah, Monday afternoon. Boom! There's just like photos and videos and all this stuff of people just crowded there, blocking all the lanes. Then we hear about the police getting involved. There it is. There's a photo right there of what it looked like. And somebody sent me that. I'm like, that's fake. There's no way that's happening right now. No, that was happening yesterday. and it caused a huge ruckus, a huge problem. They were worried about emergency vehicles getting by. I've talked to some people now where they haven't been able to get through. One person said they were supposed to bring their husband, I believe it was, over to Detroit, because we use a lot of their medical facilities, over for a cancer treatment. Can't get over for his cancer treatment. Another guy stuck on the Ambassador Bridge without his diabetes insulin, without his medication, had to get off the bridge. Can't do it.
How
Took
are they
8
doing
hours
this?
to get home?
Yeah, but Mikey, how are they doing this? Like, what's the deal with, like, is it, you said it stopped, like a couple cars just kind of stopped in the middle of the road, over the weekend, all of a sudden, Monday, the whole thing happened. Are they letting, like, are these, and keep in mind, these are white privileged white supremacists that are doing this, and we'll get to it, on behalf of foreign governments. So we'll get to those details in a minute. But is this like one of those things where they're letting a few cars through at a time, or is it like full stop, fuck you, we don't give a shit, we're here to stay?
Yep, full stop, F you. That's exactly what it's been. And so they had to close the bridge because everything in Detroit was backed up too, like on the roads there. We talked to a guy this morning on AM 800 on our show that was stuck on Fort Street for like 12 hours. He was there since late yesterday afternoon, nothing to eat, running low on fuel, couldn't go anywhere. So this is causing a major headache over on U.S. freeways because they can't go over the bridge to come into Canada. So you're seeing all these backups now, and you're seeing them in Windsor. So it is like they had this thing locked down from the bridge into Canada, so you couldn't go anywhere.
So both
You
both
could go to
sides,
the
like
States,
you can't come into Canada from the States, and you can't go to the States from Canada if you want to use the Ambassador Bridge, right?
They had an entrance open. Windsor Police there's two entrances to the bridge. The main one is where they're blocking, but there's another back entrance, the old back door on Wyandotte Street by the University of Windsor. Yeah, thank you. And you could get through there this morning, but everybody's going to the tunnel because they're hearing about all this drama here at the Ambassador Bridge. So that started to back up. Sarnia, the Blue Water Bridge, that started backing up for truck traffic because trucks can't go through the tunnel. The bridge is the only way to go here.
Yeah. It's
How
good
is
to see
Detroit?
Mike.
How is Detroit getting all the heroin to Windsor now? Like, how is that working?
James, that is an excellent question, and I will pose that to Windsor Police tomorrow to find out the answer for you.
This group isn't checking people's anuses, despite what you might think of this group. So I highly doubt anybody's going to go looking for the heroin in this group. But Locke, you were going to say something. Sorry.
I was
do it by
gonna,
boat.
I was just going to congratulate Mike for using his drone for a little bit of coverage for news rather than peeping on his neighbor's wife. So excellent work, Mike.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're using
The
it for
blinds are
good now.
closed.
Don't you love Christmas presents when they don't know what to get you?
So this is like, have you guys talked to anybody, have local authorities, Mike, talked to anybody about moving these fuck faces along? Like, do you know anything about the process, or like when? Because the only example I have, because this is the second border crossing these yahoos have decided to overtake. The one in Coots the other day, the second that right-wing truckers started to lose money, they're like, hey, let's just fucking mow right through. And they did, right? And then the RCMP kind of came in. But this is an economic disaster. It could cost something like $30 million a day in lost goods coming in and out of Canada. The bridge is shut down. So what's the process? Or are they just like, yeah, we'll see, kind of like Ottawa?
Yeah, it's kind of been like Ottawa over the first, since yesterday. They're kind of like handling with kids' gloves, and they're kind of like letting them do their thing. They're actually negotiating, it seems like, with some of the protesters from some of the video that I saw, saying, okay, can we get one lane open so we can get emergency vehicles through? I saw a video like that last night. We talked to the police chief this morning, Chief Mizuno here in Windsor, and she was saying that when there is like large groups gathering like this, the priority is the safety of everyone involved. That's what she said. So the general public and the property in the surrounding areas, there's schools in the area as well. They got to think about that, kids getting to school. Yeah. And they didn't cancel school at all. They just, said, okay, you use these back roads, use this overpass and all that stuff. So they're just kind of like, okay, let's hope, tugboat. Like, calm down,
I came from a country, though. I'm 48. Mikey's 46. Lachlan's 64. I think Ryan's around 35. James is like
Not
80.
that old, Mike.
Just looks young. He's got progeria. James looks like he's a 12-year-old with progeria. One of those really old...
What the hell did you do to him today, James?
I love him so much. He's so cute. But like we come from an era where, like, if you were in the road, right? If I just took my ATV or car and parked it in the road, within 3 minutes, an officer would be smashing my head off my hood, telling me to get the fuck off the road because I'm causing a civic nuisance.
You know
and
what?
You have across this country, Ottawa, now Windsor, didn't happen in Toronto and Vancouver.
Alberta.
Windsor, there seems to be more empathy in certain cities for this movement. Like it really feels like that. It feels like in some cities, and I don't know if this is a feeling from the thin blue line in Windsor, but I know a few people that worked in the Windsor police force, and I can tell you that I know a lot of those guys are like, yeah, fuck Trudeau, right? Like it is legitimately almost psyops for some of the cops that are trying to move this thing along. Do you know anything about what the general feeling is among people in the force? And listen, Windsor's an auto worker town, right? And I love Windsor. I spent a few years there. Mike and I started in radio together there back in the day. But it's got a real auto worker mentality. Like super, super smart people don't get a gig for 60 grand a year for 40 years and go, fuck, I nailed it. Right. So it's not like it's almost like the theory or the theorem involved in these different cities is ingrained with certain people that live in these that police in these towns and people that live in these towns, Mike. That's the feeling I get.
And
The feeling,
sorry, Mike, before you go, Dean,
Yeah,
remember,
right.
we just broke that story about CUPE, the ambulance union in Windsor,
Yep.
Essex.
Yeah.
And if there's any sort of alignment with public emergency services in their thought process, the more west you go in Ontario, the crazier it gets with this shit. So, sorry, Mike, I just wanted to
Now you're
throw that
trying
in
to
as a
separate
reminder.
yourself from the western side of your province. Not
Oh, yeah.
only do
Well, I'm
you
moving as
jackass
east as I
trying to
can. Anything
distance
west.
yourself from Alberta. You're now
Anything western.
distancing yourself from the western points
Yeah,
of,
dude,
this is-
of Ontario.
Like
Yeah, this is
anything
wow.
anything
Yeah,
past
that's
Barrie, we're out. We're not
Yeah,
interested.
this is
should
the
put a
GTA
fucking border
elitism.
up.
That
You
was
guys
just
are
GTA.
turning
We
into
tried.
the
West
West
Coast,
problem
East
with our
Coast.
country. You,
West Coast, East Coast.
Where's
the
Biggie
thing
and
that
Tupac? Are they
Biggie and
involved
Tupac
in
have a big
this?
fight.
here's
but no,
here's
my
the
like,
thing. Can I just say something quickly?
yeah.
Here's the thing that drives me crazy is this is the we're living in a communist country. We're losing our freedom.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys what you think would happen if anybody did this in fucking China.
I
would
talked
be
about this on air this week.
dragged out of your car and beaten with canes. Not only that, they would broadcast that beating all over the airwaves in China.
I'd
Then, when they're
I'd pay to
done
watch it.
beating the people in the vehicles blocking the roads, they would go to the homes of the family members of the individuals, drag them out of their houses, and beat them with canes in the streets.
Bamboo sticks.
You can't have it both ways. You can't
Right.
say we
Yep.
live in a communist country, then block the roads and have nothing happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that this week. That if you were in China, you talk about freedom and you talk about what's going on here in this country. Try going to China to do that, and just exactly what you said. A tank would drive over your head as
Yes.
you held your sign,
Imagine
and
taking
right after you got out of the hot tub, they'd
Yeah.
roll over you with a tank.
No.
imagine if you walked around China with a fuck chi.
Fuck
Mm.
China. Fuck Canada. Fuck Trudeau. Fuck Z.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if you did that in Vancouver. Someone from the China Secret Service would probably find you in Vancouver.
I just want to point out that it's not President Z, it's President Z. Just we're in Canada.
Oh, is it? That's a
Yeah.
Canadian
That's good.
version of it.
Chi, Z. I
Xi
probably
Jinping?
said it wrong.
Is that who we're talking about?
Well, and you bring up a good point. Like we have Ottawa's still going on, and this is now percolating to the point where people are severely inconvenienced, right? Like, and I'm not talking like inconvenience, like, oh, I have to wear a mask to go into the store. Oh, I have to get a shot. Tyranny. Fuck you. Inconvenience. Like, not like that. This is like life inconvenience. Can't drive across the border. Can't go see your family. Can't get chemo, as Mike said. People are being denied essential services because these groups of asshats are afraid that this is turning into a communist country. Well. Did anybody catch noted insurrectionist, noted racist, noted fuckface Randy Hillier, excommunicated MP, a legitimate sitting MP, wax poetically all day yesterday about Russia and how awesome Russia was? Did anybody see him go on Russian television news last night,
State media,
shitting all over Canada while extolling the virtues of Russia? This guy is calling us communists, and he's going on Russian television to talk about how fucking cool Russia is and how shitty Canada is. Watch this. It's fuck.
The mayor's decision to declare a state of emergency really necessary here?
No, it's absolutely a falsehood. It's a fabrication. It's a pretext for what's actually our government is doing. What we're seeing, in my view, is that there is an insurrection against the people of Canada by our elected officials, by our government. This is a very peaceful, friendly, energetic festival and winter carnival that is happening.
A festival winter carnival. The Benum came out, and we had a lovely time. These are fucking jackoffs that tried to light a fucking apartment building full of people on fire and lock the doors. These are jackoffs that are beating up gay people in the city center of
I can't hear
Ottawa.
you guys right now. If you can hear me, but I can't hear you guys.
Log out and log back in again. You'll be able to hear us. Yeah, log out and come back in. Can someone type that to him, actually? I want to get to the next. Yeah, hang on one sec. I want to get to the next clip.
There he goes.
That was the first clip. This is the second clip of Randy with Russia Today or Russian television, which is legitimately 100% owned by Vladimir Putin and his fucking pals. Watch this.
At the same time, authorities have threatened to arrest anyone providing support materials to the truck drivers. It seems extreme. What's your take on it?
Well, of course, it is extreme. It's, and again, wholly unnecessary, and it's also unlawful. This is why I say this is an insurrection against the people and a coup d'etat against our Constitution. All our governments are operating against our most foundational legal documents and the way we are to have checks and balances against arbitrary authority by elected people.
Now, first of all, the first clip was a total fucking lie, a total fabrication, like an absolute, complete, and total, utter lie that this country was in a state of emergency that was not legitimate. Because the country not only isn't in a state of emergency, Ottawa is, because these fuckfaces won't leave, and they've been legitimately terrorizing people for the past 11, 12 days now. I think we're on day 12.
The country was in a state of emergency?
Yeah, that's
he
right.
said the entire country.
He told
it's
me,
a lie.
so I talked to Randy Hillier on the phone today, and I talked to him yesterday on the phone. And yesterday on the phone was interesting because yesterday he said the same shit to me. He's like, I asked him if he wanted to come on the show on Blackballed, at which point he told me no, and I'll tell you the reasons in a minute. I'm sure, Dean, you have the image for that.
Here it is. Because Dean Blundell is a lying cocksucker, and I will never go on any show affiliated with his network. Signed Randy Hillier.
That's a direct quote. That's not a text. He said that to me. And it was like,
I approve this message.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, Randy,
I approve.
I'm like, Randy, you just described what's happening as a coup d'etat, and I'm like, I tried to reason with him, and I know people, I know I shouldn't try to reason with him, but I did, and I was like, it does sort of seem like you're being a little bit over the top, like maybe this isn't tyranny but temporary, and he's like, James, the government has been lying to us for 2 years. Right? And I'm just like, I don't think that's what's happening. And then he was like, Dean Blundell is a fucking cocksucking liar, right? And I'm like, I know, but what does that have to do with the coup d'etat, right? No, I'm just kidding. I actually you know what's interesting? And Dean, you'll back this up because I told you yesterday. I was like, I don't want to burn the bridge to Crazyland with people like Randy and Max Bernier, right? But I got to tell you, I felt a little protective of you today and yesterday because it was like.
Aww.
It was kind of like, no, because first of all, it was hypocritical because I'm sure he was one of the first people to trash Neil Young for not wanting to go on Spotify because they happen to carry Joe Rogan, right? Mm-hmm. And so now he's saying to me, I won't go on your show because you're affiliated with Dean Blundell. And I got to tell you, like, I was like, yesterday on the phone, I was like, listen, like, you know, I get that you feel that way, but like, you know, you should still come on the show. But then when I got off the phone, I was like, you know what? And you know, I'm not trying to be all like, you know, gushy, but like, Dean, I love you. You're my friend. And like, you know what I mean? Like we've been working together for 2 years and like, I then decided to happily burn that bridge because fuck you if you're going to trash my friend and the person that I work with in order to like tell me that I'm not going to go on the show. I would do that for any one of you guys, man, you know, except for maybe Lachlan, but whatever.
Well said. I appreciate you for that.
I can
and I have no problem burning any bridges with any of those people. I don't consider them bridges. I consider them losers. Mike, you got some breaking news there? Breaking news in Windsor, is that correct?
Yeah.
You got breaking news in the convoy?
Friend
Go ahead.
Michelle Molesky, CTV Windsor, who's on the scene right now, reported and posted a video that transport trucks are starting to move a little bit now on Huron Church Road, which is the major road leading to the Ambassador Bridge. So we got movement. I think it moved. I think we got
Operation Wipe That Ass is underway down in Windsor, which is nice.
Operation I think it moved, being reported down here in Windsor moments ago.
And does anyone from the convoy, sorry, Ryan, I'll just be really quickly though. Like one of the big things was that the supply chain's all fucked up. And then they go, and it wasn't at the time. It was just the same as it's been for a year and a half. Yeah, and then they go and fuck up the supply chain.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was like one of their big motivating factors. You don't want to fuck up the supply chain, everybody. And it's
dude,
like,
we talked about that right off the fucking hop. Like we talked about that off the hop. Yeah. You're upset about supply chain. In fact, they created them. They didn't even exist. Supply chain issues. They were fake photographs. Randy put a couple of those out too. Yeah, fake
Except
photographs.
For kale.
Yeah, that's
right. Low-fat products.
A lot of kale.
Those are, they can't be found anywhere.
Low-fat peanut butter. I could not find that last week.
Yeah, me neither. I couldn't find broccoli for months. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, the difference you're going to see here from Coots is Ambassador is a privately owned bridge. It's a corporation that owns that, and corporations donate money to certain political parties, and you're going to find out very fast who owns that bridge, and you're going to find out exactly who told them get your ass on it, move those trucks.
Yeah.
It's a lot different when it's state-owned versus privately owned because now there's pressures. There's outside pressure on the police to get it done. So,
yeah, I mean, that's sometimes those relationships are who owns it. I think it's Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. Spanish and French, as with the French 7. Yeah.
It's the Maroon family, which is insane that a private corporation owns an international crossing. And that's why we're building a new bridge here as we speak. The Gordie Howe International Bridge by the governments are being built because of the issues they've had with the international crossing and this major crossing that is owned by a family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to own a bridge one day. That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You come in, you don't come in. Come on over, you stay there. Like that just sounds awesome.
I owned a bridge.
He lives under one, so
yeah. I was just gonna say I owned a bridge, but it was to Randy's house, and I just burned it down. So
yeah, I know you did. I know you did anymore. Speaking of Randy, back to him. So not only did he go on Russian state television and lie his dick off, he also, and I will give him credit for this, chain smoked through the whole fucking thing.
Because protest, as we know, is a legal right in Canada, but with the state ramping up restrictions on this movement, what sort of precedent does that set?
As someone who enjoys the odd smoke of a vaporizer, I'm like, I kind of think that's badass. Like, he's a Russian asset, full-on Russian asset, and he smokes like one, too.
That is the most libertarian thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and that earns him the nickname Man Rand. It really does, you know.
funny.
But let's look at those because I don't know if you guys know this, but I got fucking tired of him today because of him going on Russian state television, lying about Canadians, lying about the country. And so I talked to James about him this morning. James and I were having a great laugh about it. And I'm like, I'm going to fuck him up today. And he's like, okay, go ahead. And I said, I will. So I tweeted, I'm going to break Randy Hillier today. BREAK, break. And what we did was, because I have a bunch of information and a new post up at deanblundell.com with definitive proof that Randy Hillier is indeed a Russian asset. I don't think he knows it because he's so fucking dumb.
No, that's how they normally work.
He ran into the arms of anybody that'll talk to him. In Russian state TV, Russians smart. They're like, hey, come over here. Let's fucking get... Because this whole thing is about sewering this country for the alt-right extremes and MAGA, and they're all working together. Again, we'll get to that in a second. But it was fascinating because I said, why don't we get this trending that Randy Hillier is a Russian asset? And I started to kind of push it out there, and a couple people caught on, went to the bathroom, made a coffee, came back, boom, number 2 in Canada. Randy Hillier is a Russian asset.
That's impressive. That's impressive. But
It's number 2.
Yeah. Solid 2.
I can't believe that you made
number 2 and
coffee
upset-minded.
Yeah, and I'm not fucking around.
Why are the Kings trending? What?
Yeah.
Well, they made a big trade, Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
Randy Hillier's a Russian asset, trending in number 2. Here are the receipts. This is from Russian television, Russian state-affiliated media on Twitter. Him talking about the fabrication of the state of emergency, that it's not real. That was for Russia. Not done there. This is for Russia, talking about shitting all over police, cops, some carrying grenade launchers. This is like a couple of days after he tweeted at full gas cans and fucking Israeli tank shells saying, freedom, let's go, fucking ring it in, let's kill some people. Not only that, he specifically points to Russia several times in the last few days, more like corporate USA and communist China's plan for New World Order. Russia appears to be the only major nation espousing Western values of faith and freedom. Again, that's not true, dumb fuck. And then we've got this one. Interesting that Russia did not buy into the whole COVID vax scam created by CCP and globalist partners. Again, not true. They fucking locked everybody down for a long time. Then he goes at it again. Russia appears to be the only major power advocating traditional Western values. By the way, traditional Western values is code for white supremacy, just so you guys know. In case you're ever sitting there going, what does he mean Western values? Like I can go to the 7-Eleven freely. I can use the national parks. I get to pay taxes and free. No, he's talking about racism. He wants you to be white, and he fucking hates any color that isn't. Therefore, he wants Western values opposed to the globalist agenda, collaboration between transnational corps, USA and CCP. Is this why the USA and NATO are provoking Putin over Ukraine? Again, he's Putin's buddy, and he's supporting. It gets better. The West has lost its economic military domination as well as its resolve to defend freedom. China and Russia have the resolve. China and Russia have the resolve to advance their interests, and no, the USA won't lift a finger. That is from a couple of days ago as well. It is on and on and on because Randy Hillier, as I've pointed out, and is trending now, number 1 across the country, Randy Hillier is a Russian asset and probably has a drinking problem.
I had a thought about this.
I love the speculation and innuendo on this show.
when this started today, just before we came on the air, I was thinking about, you know, how smart is that of Russia, if that's the case, especially now that they want to advance on Ukraine, to tie up our military dealing with our own fucking idiots, so that they're too busy to worry about what Russia's doing to the Ukraine. It's kind of brilliant.
Well, there's an interesting connection between the alt-right and communist countries, right? Like that type of government, that type of extremism generally leads to authoritarian type values. Yeah. So it's funny that they call the left, the liberals, a progressive party, right? And I'm using that term lightly. They call that a progressive party. And they throw the communism word around, but if you really look at it, the far right movement is much closer aligned to what we know today as communists rule, right?
Yeah, it's almost like it's a projection, even.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dean, if you could take me
I
off
think we
ISO,
have
I could
really-
continue the conversation.
Sorry,
with
you look
everybody else,
uncomfortable
'cause
there.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
Trying
that
to make you
beautiful face
uncomfortable.
was right here.
I have noticed you have a very round head, Ryan.
You're
Like,
round.
it's
That's why I suit bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, dear.
Well, Mike, listen, dude, I appreciate you coming on and kind of explaining some stuff to us and talking about what's going on in Windsor. Glad the traffic is starting to move.
Looks like-
and I don't
it
know if
looks
you
like it's
guys
starting
know
to
this. Mikey is on like the team where, like the team that we're on where we're given nicknames by the alt-right white supremacists.
Mhm.
Mike, the nickname that you were given on Zello by truckers down in Windsor, please.
Yeah, so I've had many people tell me they were monitoring the Zello channel with all the convoy protesters. I have been nicknamed after the show, after the last few weeks, after having a similar outlook on things as you gentlemen. Communist K-Cook is now my name, Communist K-Cook.
Nice.
And I'll be starting my program tomorrow like the 80s wrestler Nikolai Volkov. Please stand for the Russian national anthem. Remember he used to say, wear that hat, that sweet lid that he had. And one more thing before you guys let me go. Could we maybe make a trade, Hillier for a Russian? I was thinking like, I don't know, like Anna Kournikova, but we'd have to throw in way more. I'm thinking Yakov Smirnov. Or that dude?
Yakov Smirnov's already an American citizen, but
Pretty sure he is.
so we can't do that. I don't know, maybe a little vodka or something then, and
I'll take
for
some
the number
vodka.
2 seed, Randy Hillier.
Yeah. I would. You know what? And I think that's all we have left to do is to trade some of these guys to Russia. Like I hope they all pull
I'll
a
help them
Steven
pack.
Seagal. I hope they all pull a Steven Seagal and go, hey, you know what? I like it better over there. Fucking go. Go. Let me help you
I
fucking
think-
pack your bags. Lachlan and I will bring around the fucking 2 guys, 1 cup truck or whatever we call it. And we're going to help people fucking get packed and we're going to send them to Russia.
What would be
I'm
great if there
helping
was some
Teresa
kind of
move this weekend.
What would be great, guys, if there was some kind of website that took donations to gather donations? I don't know, some kind of website. Go
fuck me.
something like Go Away Me. We collect the donations, we raise the money, we fly them all over in a military jet. They parachute out, never to be seen again.
Can we
Enjoy
stuff
Russia,
them full of?
everyone.
Let's stuff them full of mushrooms first, then toss them out of the plane. That'll be fun.
Even better.
Mike
The
K.
lineup
Cook
for bread is here.
his Twitter handle is Radio Mike 519 on Twitter. You
Thank
can follow him, and if you're in the Windsor area, listen to him. He does a great morning show with my friend Lisa Williams on AM 800 CKLW.
That would be the 50,000 watt blowtorch, Dean.
Massive,
AM
yeah, big
800,
blowtorch.
yes.
Dude, I don't think people know the history of that radio station. That
it's
radio
huge.
station back in the day was the biggest radio station in the world. The world.
Absolutely.
Like
People,
the
and
world.
we're still in the same building, and
Yeah.
like Elton John would be there, and Bob Seger, and all these different huge artists that were made by CKLW and the Big 8. And here's the thing: I've seen some photos. The decor has not changed or equipment whatsoever since the days of the Big 8. It's really amazing. It's like a museum we work in.
Just call yourself CBC, and then you'll
Yeah.
get your carpets done every year.
Or ask for
Mike.
CBC's last year's model.
Yeah. What's left over from
Somebody
CBC?
used carpet over there.
Mikey, thanks, buddy. It was great to
Thanks,
see you
guys.
again,
It was
my man. I'll
fun.
talk to you soon.
Thanks,
That is
Mike.
Take
Mike
care,
K.
Mike.
Cook from AM 800 CKLW in Windsor, and now we go to Whistler. We go
Hi.
to Whistler.
Whistler.
Mercedes Nicholl, 4-time Olympic
Mercedes.
athlete. Mercedes. Last time I talked to you, you didn't have pink hair. Now you got pink hair.
It was a little, I had to redo it. It was fading, so I got pink hair again.
Is it pink, like just in the front, or is it pink all around?
The whole
Careful.
way. The whole way.
Yeah.
That'll work
Very
well for
exciting.
Pink Shirt Day, for the Pink Shirt Day discussion with James P. White, which you are a part of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, very
Mercedes.
excited for that.
So
Yeah,
thank
really
you for
excited.
jumping on that.
Good to see you, Mercedes, at Mercedes Nicholl. If you want to go and watch someone post pictures of herself watching the Olympics.
It's true. Oh.
Yeah.
What
Did we lose your
happened?
video? Did we lose
Yeah,
your video?
hold on.
All right,
I
we'll
don't
wait
know
for it.
why.
We can
Sorry.
still hear you.
Randy
still hear you.
Hillier. That's
Yeah,
I think Randy's
this is
in on the
Russian.
mix.
This is the Russians.
Randy's
Coming
in
to shut
on
us
it.
down one square at a time.
Oh, there we
Oh.
go. There we go.
Back
Now we're
of it,
looking.
There's the
Yeah,
front.
there we go. Mercedes Nicholl's back, everybody. Nice to see
Sorry,
you.
team.
How are you, and what's it like? Is this the first time you haven't competed in the Olympics in like 4 tries? What's
Yeah.
that, 12 years, correct?
16.
16
Almost,
years?
yeah, like 20 years.
Yeah, bad math.
Me
What's
mad.
that, 6 years?
Yeah, it happens all the time. The Olympics happen all the time.
Yeah.
No big deal. No, yeah, you're right. I have been posting how I'm watching because they're all my friends out there. So I'm like kind of freaking out. I'm not there with them. So I'm just like, didn't know I'd be this excited to watch the Olympics. It's stressful, but
Yeah.
not as stressful as like competing, but it's a different level of stress.
Do you find yourself armchair quarterbacking a lot? Like
I don't know
would
what
have done
that
it this
means.
way.
What does that mean?
Where you're sitting there and you're critiquing it, and
this.
you're like,
Oh,
I
do
would have
that.
done this. I would have done that. Why didn't they do
No.
this?
Not at this moment because the like level is just so high right now, especially in like snowboarding and skiing. I watched the women's big air the other night and 16 like 20s were being thrown and I was just like I've never seen that before. I don't even think these girls have done it before. It's just they're leveling up. It's insane. I'm jaw
awesome.
dropped pretty much.
Yeah,
What does
the
1620s mean? I
Exactly.
don't know what that means. Yeah.
So like a 360 that's like one full rotation.
Right.
1620 I think that's like 5.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
go with the
I
math
watched
again.
I watched the replay of that today, and it was crazy. They're nuts, and the I love the commentators in all the snowboard and skiing events because they're like, dude, like they get so excited.
You mean it's
Yeah.
not
They're-
Vic Router?
They're very entertaining. Yeah, no,
There's
and
Vic
that
Router
was the
doing that.
comment was that this year the jump in sort of technical, especially on the women's side, the technical jump has just been massive, and everyone has been commenting about Mercedes, about
Well-
how advanced everyone is. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
the,
the
like the
men's slope
progression,
style.
right? Sorry.
Oh my
Dan.
gosh, it's insane.
Yeah.
No, it's insane. The men's slope style, like an 18 was thrown, and you're just like, and that didn't get a gold medal. And that's pretty controversial right now in the whole snowboard world bubble. But they're just leveling up. And you see this every time at the Olympics. Like when Sage Kostenberg won the slope style, he threw a brand new trick that he'd not done before. And it's just what happens. The games, like, it's another level for sure.
That's why snowboarding and skiing are so much more exciting than figure skating, because figure skaters, it took them 4 fucking decades to go from triple axel to quadruple axel. You know what I mean? And you guys are going from 360s to 1620s.
I don't know though. I saw
But we have a
something.
takeoff and a landing, and they are going like from the ground.
Yeah.
I'm trying to big up
It
the
all
sport
looks
here.
hard.
I
It
saw
all looks
the-
hard.
Yeah,
I saw
and
a figure skating couple, Canadian couple, the other day, and that guy was whipping the girl around. It was insane. I mean,
I used to
I'm
do that
your
every
typical-
weekend.
Yeah, the Olympic. It's just insane. How-
There should be a normal person at every event to like give you a gauge on just how
That's
elite
Grant-
these athletes are.
That's my
Yeah.
co-host's idea. He's been saying this for years. He thinks that they should fire out a normal dude in every event.
Do
first.
Super G. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I was watching
Snow
Super
plowing
G.
down.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
watching
think you'd
Super
make it
G
down.
yesterday.
It's so icy. I don't think they'd make it down.
yeah.
Did you watch any of the skiing yesterday? Anybody?
Yeah, I watched some of
I
them.
saw
I mean,
clips.
you
Yeah.
got to multitask watching these games. You've got like 2 things going on at once. It's
Yeah. Well, I was watching Super G yesterday, and I was watching it with my son, and it was actually pretty fucking cool. I think this guy Meyer won from Austria. I'm not too sure. And the Canadian came like 1/1000th of a second out of third, and he finished in 6th. And I'm watching this, and my son says to me, he's like, how fast do you think they're going? 60? I'm like 120 kilometers an hour, dude. They're fucking
Yeah.
cooking. And he's like, no way. He goes, yeah. And then he was like, he was all in. He wanted to watch and sit and watch this thing. But the incredible part was, like, and I said to him, it looks like we could do that, right? Like it legitimately looks like, you're going down the side, do a little bit of this. There's no moguls. It looks fine. And to your point, you're absolutely right. They should take guys like Lachlan, guys
Yeah.
like me, give us the hot suit, send us down next to these guys to show you how fucking pathetic we are and how incredible Olympic athletes are in their disciplines, right? Like it's wild to watch.
I want to do the long jump, the like where you're doing the
Like Eddie the Eagle Edwards. That
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
I want
Canadian
that.
one that we first medal in ski jumping, I think, ever. Dude won the other day, and then this guy Max Perot. Tell me a little bit about Max
Parrot.
Perot. He won gold.
it's
Is it Parrot? I think it's Perot.
Perot,
Pretty
yeah.
sure it's Perot.
Yeah, from
he's
Quebec.
from Alberta. Yeah.
It's Parrot in Edmonton.
But dude, this guy's story is incredible, isn't it, Mercedes? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, he's a beast. He's always been a serious competitor and like so focused. And I think as 2019, he got diagnosed with Hodgkin's cancer and lymphoma. So he went through all the treatment and like not for a second did he blink an eye thinking that he wasn't going to snowboard again. And then he just got gold and for Canada in the slopestyle. Like
Yeah.
what a crazy story and what amazing hope for like other people that might be going through something like that.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
you can make it. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the motivation behind it, that like, and the stories about this guy, 3 years ago couldn't even get out of bed. He's going through chemo treatment, lots of pictures of him, but it was such a great Canadian story. It was one of those, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to get through it. And then I'm going to go get to that next Olympics. And a couple of years ago, dude couldn't even get out of bed. And now he's a gold medalist, right? Which is fucking incredible to watch. Just
2
those
years
stories
ago,
that come out.
right? 2 years
can't-
ago.
Yeah, you
that's
can't
insane.
knock Mark McMorris because he pretty much almost died in the backcountry back here and he's back up competing again too. So
Oh,
like
dude.
both of their stories, you're just like, I don't know. We love sport. We get back up and we do it again.
Yeah.
Mercedes, what about the woman that flipped from the American team and competed for China and just won gold in is it called Big Air?
Big Air, yes. Women's ski
Air?
Big Air, yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
took a lot of abuse online. I'm guessing she's probably never going to be on social media again.
Oh, I don't know. That's what's so hard about these games is having social media there. I mean, when I was at my first games, 2006, we didn't have that. And I was chatting with one of the curlers about it, and it was actually so nice. I don't
Yeah.
know. People just, Dean knows exactly how it is. People just write what they're going to write. And what I think what it comes down to for the games is like, you just got to be proud of what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you're
media-
watching this, you're watching 2022 in Beijing. Do you talk to any of the guys about the Olympic Village and how the experience has been so far? I'm interested in that too.
Yeah, so I do a little inside scoop for the Team Canada athletes, and I just was chatting with two of the support team that are there, and I've got like a gauge on like what the food's like, and because obviously one of the hot topics is McDonald's isn't there anymore, so there's always like free McDonald's that athletes will have usually after their competition, and now it's I think it's KFC that's there. Also, how they're getting tested. So in the summer they were like summer games, they had to like spit into these vials to kind of get tested every day, and now it's like down the throat every morning.
Oh, really? Well, I thought
Wow.
that they were going. Well, you and I talked about the other testing a couple weeks ago. Remember? Because I was under the impression they were going in through the anus to get that sample.
I'm just not sure where you got that.
The
That's
news.
for travel.
It was
Okay,
in the news.
that's another thing about the games is like the news, like the tiniest
I
little
heard they're
thing
doing
is news
COVID
breaking.
testing in the bum too.
Yeah. What were you? No, we did. I'll bring it up. What were you going to
Yeah.
say? You tell us what you were saying, and I'll bring it up. The other thing about it is what?
It's just like that everything at the Olympics is like news breaking. It's like crazy, but it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I
That's
don't
how
think
we
they were
live now.
testing up the butt.
Someone posted what they're being fed though. Like apparently 3 times a day for the last 5 days they've been fed the same shit and it's been nasty. Like that's
No, not the
someone
athletes.
Fucking Twitter
Just-
wouldn't lie.
Just the trainers.
No, no one lies. No one ever lies. No one wants like a news flash just to make it blow up.
Yeah.
But are they enjoying themselves? Like when you talk to the Olympic athletes that are in the village that are from Canada, obviously as someone that has the inside scoop and talks to people and gets the word out. What's the feeling like? Obviously, COVID is an issue. The CCCP government or CCP government is an issue. Like, what's the feeling like? And are they being treated well? Are they being followed around? I've seen a couple of videos of reporters get hustled out of certain areas because they're like, you can't show what's behind you. Like, have you heard anything in regards to that?
I mean, I know that they're just trying to be as safe as possible. You would never want to test positive while you're at the games.
Yeah.
We can kind of look at that from the women's hockey team.
Yeah.
It just came out that one of the girls tested positive on the Russia team. So it's like so grateful that our girls played in the masks the other night and kept them on.
That used to mean something a lot different when
What's that?
Russians. That used to mean something a lot different when Russian athletes tested positive at the Olympics. That
Right.
used to mean something. completely different.
Well, and the funny thing, I saw a meme where they were saying I'm having none of anybody complaining about having to wear a mask to the liquor store after watching the women's hockey team beat Russia with N95 masks on.
Yeah.
And they wore them last night too, didn't they? They wore them in the Canada USA game.
No,
they
didn't.
No.
What highlights were they watching?
You watched the Russia game from the day
Yeah,
before.
Russia
So
was
hold
because Russia's test didn't come back in time, so they decided to do it that way.
Well, I think they got a heads up that they might have had a positive test on the team. I don't know why, and that might just be rumors, Mercedes, but I think somebody on the Canadian squad kind of was a little suspicious about Russia and their testing. And so they threw everybody out on the ice with masks.
James, can you call
Is
Randy
that why
and-
they were wearing masks? Because
confirm
they
that?
didn't trust the Russians? Is that correct?
No, they both decided, like, they were an hour delayed, and then Canada wanted to play, and so for them to play, they came to the idea that they would both wear masks so that it was safe for everyone.
Yeah. I couldn't believe.
Then in the third period, sorry to interrupt, the third period, I was like, why are the Russians not wearing their masks?
Yeah.
And then their tests had come back. So the Russians took off their masks, but the Canadians are freaking badass and kept playing in them.
Hell yeah.
And won.
Yeah.
In a romp.
Yeah,
Right?
They
well.
look good.
They won well.
Yeah, they did.
That girls squad looks amazing right now. They are so fast. Holy shit.
Oh my
It's fun to watch.
you-
That's fun hockey.
Did
What
you?
was with the Rosie DiMano piece? Did you guys
Yeah.
see that?
I
Were you
did.
just going there, Dean? Sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I'm glad you did. It doesn't bother me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mercedes, I wanted to ask you about this, and I know you didn't have a chance, but Rosie DiMano is like a writer for the Star out here, and she's been here forever. And she took great pleasure in dressing down women's hockey, like great pleasure in an article. And to the extent that she effectively ostracized, she's a sports writer too, ostracized everybody in the city. But what I've watched, and I've watched Team Canada, the men are starting to play, I think, but I've watched these women, and I've really enjoyed the competition. And I understand it is different hockey, but like as a female athlete, when you hear about people that are still dogging women's professional sports or women competing in sports, does that frustrate you on behalf of not just your compatriots, but like women in general?
When I saw that link, I was like, I need to read more into this. What is she talking about? And I didn't get a chance to, but I got an inkling that she was like, they are just kind of crushing, like the Canadians are just crushing the team. And I had friends over here being like, okay, it's like 12-1, like give them a break. I'm like, never give them a break. You never give up. When you're in a sport, you're not gonna like give up. Like you got to keep going, and it's the Olympics.
Thank you, Mercedes.
You're showcasing your sport, and anyone that says women's sport, I mean, freaking go watch like the skiing, the snowboarding, upping the ante. Like I've never seen it before, so I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
other
see
thing
it.
too is that the women's hockey is
fucking
violent.
They're so good.
They're mean, and I
They
love
are.
it. They are knocking each other's asses around on that ice, and it's fantastic. Thank you for saying that. That's something that's bothered me for a long, long time. When you've got a team down and out, you don't let your foot off their throat. You keep going. It's not something that is, if you instill that in somebody, you're killing it. You're killing the sport. If it's 12-1 and you can get to 20, get to 20.
You're not
I
there to
just
get a
don't care.
participation badge.
Yeah, you're no kidding. Thank you. Thank you,
You just
Mercedes.
win,
Oh
and
my
you
God.
are Mercedes. There's a reason she's a 4-time Olympian, and she's got that killer instinct. She just said,
Yes.
"I don't care that we're beating you 20-6. Fucking let's go."
And our girls, honestly, they're so freaking good. Watching that game against the States last night, I was losing it. Like, I don't know about you guys. Again, this is my first time watching the Olympics. I am like, I can't talk to my friends. I'm like glued to the TV and I'm just like cheering for my girls, like so proud. That's again why I keep posting everything, because I'm
good for
a
you.
total
Good for
freak of
you.
nature.
I love it.
I love seeing that passion in your face though, because like you this is like your alma mater. You know what I mean? Like this is your crew, and you're not there, and you're a 4-time Olympian, and you are like emotionally invested as if you were there, and that's amazing. Like you're a great ambassador. Like
someone one of the girls like smashed into Rebecca, and I was like, do not hit her, don't touch her. I'm probably too invested, for God's sakes.
No, that passion is good though. That's great.
Well, it's fun. Like we didn't talk about the Olympics. Obviously, there's so much going on, and the world is like, of all the Olympics that you had to miss, you're probably pretty happy that this is the Olympics that you didn't go to, right?
I mean, I'm okay with it, though. I just miss my team. Like everyone, there's over 200 Team Canada athletes that are there right now, and over 100 of them are my past teammates. So I was asked, who am I cheering for? I'm like, I can't choose. I'm cheering for everyone, though it's hard to watch everything. Snowboarding is on tonight, and that's Halfpipe. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. Like, obviously, I'm content that I'm retired. I got to leave on my own mark.
Halfpipe is all you,
choice.
right? You were the Halfpipe queen.
Yeah, I was in Halfpipe. And a lot of athletes don't get that. They don't get to leave on their own like choice. They're sometimes not reselected, or they're injured, and that's a different way to go out. So yeah, it'll be interesting watching tonight. We've got women's qualifiers for snowboard halfpipe, and snowboard cross, and then men's qualifiers for halfpipe as well. I mean, freaking everything's happening tonight.
Who are we watching? Mercedes? Who?
Okay, so we have two girls. We have two girls in halfpipe. Elizabeth, who was 16 at our last games, and I was 34, and she was my roommate. Super fun. Wow. And she's from Quebec, and she's got tricks, and she's boosting, and she was injured last year, so she's like kind of got this little redemption, I think, coming back. And then we have Brooke DeHaan, and she's our youngest athlete at the Winter Olympics right now, and she's kind of a like fresh one to the games, so it'll be interesting. If she lands a run, she could do really well.
How old is she?
I want to say she's like 16.
Wow.
She's young. Yeah.
What about
Alberta.
the dudes? Any guys in halfpipe?
Yeah.
That you're
So
looking
we
at?
had, okay, so this is a crazy story. We had Derek Livingston going. He would have been a 3-time Olympian. So I'd gone to 2 Olympics with him. He's like my little brother. He's family. In training in Calgary, he broke his leg and sprayed his ankle on an airbag. So he won't be going, but in his place is Liam Gills, and he is our only indigenous person at the games. And that'll be his first Olympics, which is really cool opportunity for him.
That is really cool.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So three Canadians to look out
He's
for.
the only indigenous person representing Canada at these games. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
We need more. We need more.
I know. We had Spencer O'Brien at the last couple of Olympics, and then she's made a snowboard video that's come out and won some awards. So that's pretty cool to transition into that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Are they all self-isolating, the athletes? Do you know, Mercedes?
So I don't think they're self-isolating. They're definitely like staying in their bubbles and not really going anywhere. Obviously, they get tested every morning before they go anywhere outside of the village. I mean, the village is a bubble of like isolation, and there are 3 different villages. So there's the Beijing village, there's a mountain village, and then I think it's like a cross-country sliding village as well. So not all the athletes are together, which a lot of us would probably assume that they're all in the same village. But if the mountain athletes had gone to the opening ceremonies, it would have taken them 10 hours round trip. So a lot of them, well, all of them stayed in the mountain.
I thought there was a small contingent from Canada represented in the opening ceremonies when we watched them come out. What did you think of those jackets too?
I mean, they look hot, like heat hot.
Okay. I thought they looked really weird. And then I got and then I got shamed for not having any fashion sense. But
Those the Lululemon ones again?
yeah, they had the big puffy back end on them.
Yeah.
They were bizarre.
It's the opposite of the Lululemon branding that we've all come to love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Like the
they
big
got
covered
the
a lot.
bum.
They got the whole Olympics, and
this is the first year.
Yeah, and they got a bunch of gear.
Do you miss the swag? No swag this year?
Actually, I got a little bit of the swag from Canada Snowboard, which was cool. I volunteer for them, so they sent some out, which was really kind.
Yeah,
I have 4 years worth of swag, and the stuff that you get a lot.
Yeah.
Am I jealous that it's Lululemon? A little bit, but I got a lot of cool stuff. I
Yeah.
have a really cool couch and sweater from 2010, and I have 2 couch and sweaters. Like, there's little pieces. So the Vancouver 2020 closing ceremonies, the couch and sweater we wore were handmade, which no one else in the world will get. They did make them in mass for HSBC for people to buy, but the ones that the athletes got were handmade. And then in Pyeongchang, our jackets were photographed from the couch and sweaters that were made for us, only for the freestyle snowboard athletes. So not just the Olympic Canada team, just the snowboard freestyle athletes.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's awesome.
I keep on
there's
thinking that
always
you're
a
saying
goal.
couch and sweater, but you're not saying couch and sweater.
Cowichan.
Right? What do you?
Couch.
I don't know.
It's
what
an
that
area
is.
in British
I don't
Columbia, if I'm not mistaken. Cowichan.
oh, is that not like a known thing? A couch
Not
and
for this
sweater?
guy.
I knew.
I don't
know.
knew-
Oh, it's like a
I've heard it.
big wool sweater. Like
Yeah.
You do know that
Well-
you're not talking to 4 hippies from British Columbia, right?
right.
I grew up.
I don't
in
like
BC.
anything west of London.
I've been
One guy's in
hunting
Fennel.
Columbia.
I'm in a
It's
I'm in
like
a
the
black
first
The
t-shirt.
western part of their province.
Yeah.
It's an
I haven't-
indigenous people.
I haven't used an
sweater.
iron in like 17 years, something like
17.
that. Like I don't know.
You don't.
I can tell you
fucking
do
use
your
an
hair a
iron
lot.
lens. Yeah.
It's true. I do. It's true.
With a bit.
I have cancer. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
No, he doesn't. No, he
just kidding. I don't
doesn't.
have cancer.
That is a fucking low rent thing to say in the middle of this podcast. That is terrible, but funny. Thank you. That's a good thing to do.
What's wrong with you?
I did that at a party once. Anyway, I don't want to.
What did you say he has?
James?
Yeah.
Asperger's, probably by the sounds of it.
Okay. I thought it was some sort of 12-year-old disease. You said.
No, that
no,
12-year-old dizzy with the disease. What's that called again?
Oh, progeria. Yeah.
Progeria.
Yeah. You know what progeria is?
Just
It's when
look
you have it's when a child like ages so fast that they look like they're 80 when they're
Benjamin
12.
Button.
That's
thing,
what
isn't
he's
it?
got.
It's like the opposite of
reverse?
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, in reverse. The Bizarro Ben.
Okay, so anyway, now that we've upset Mercedes, 4-time Olympian.
We'll take the car out of the ditch
Sorry,
here.
now that James has upset Mercedes, 4-time Olympian, let's
fuck
pull the
you.
car
She
out
loves
of the
me.
ditch.
What are you
Yeah, she
talking
doesn't. What is it that you are?
You need a drink.
As you're processing, not being there and you're seeing this go on, is there any jealousy? Because it's kind of like seeing because you're a 4-time Olympian, one of Canada's greatest Olympians, and you're sitting there watching these guys go. Is any part of you going, I wish I was there? Because I know you're very happy to be at this place you're at in life and really happy, and you've been on Olympics 4 times. You've had the experience, but because to me, it would be like seeing an old girlfriend with a new dude. You're like, fuck. All right.
No. Again, I left on my own terms, and I knew I was done, and I'm super pumped that I don't have to be in the halfpipe doing tricks that the girls are going to be doing tonight because I'm 38 now. Things kind of hurt.
Holy shit!
Like-
You're 38.
Yeah, she looks like she's
My God,
18.
girl, you look
I
great.
know.
You really do.
You
You
guys.
You look fantastic.
No, you do.
I would never in a million years put
No.
you there. You look 22.
Keep it
Christ's
coming.
sake.
Keep it coming. No,
When
no,
you're
I'm.
I like
Lachlan, when
your
you're
hair. It's
when
pretty.
you're an elite athlete like Mercedes,
It's
unlike
the West Coast air, guys.
Yeah,
It's the couch
unlike
and
us.
sweaters.
Yeah.
Couch
We're
sweater.
we're Ontario scum. There's a reason we look like this. Like I'm 48, I look a little closer to 73. Locke is 65. Looks like he's 80.
Listen,
I'm from
I
Hamilton.
know-
I've
we
been
did a lot of
smoking
different.
since I was 5 years old.
Yeah, I'm
James
from
is
Hamilton.
only 16. Seriously.
I'm from Hamilton's, and we've done when we say we're skiing on the weekend, it's not what you're thinking.
Yeah, we know what you're doing. I know what you're talking
Thanks,
about.
Wade.
You know,
Like
just to
Wade.
let you know, there's another athlete, and I just interviewed him this week, who retired at 32, and then wants to make a comeback at 42. And if Sean Avery can do it, Mercedes, you can do it. That's
Whoa,
all
whoa,
I'm
whoa! What sport?
Hockey.
Oh, well, yeah, they stay on the ground. I think like snowboarding is a little different. To give you an idea, to give you that's not a dick thing to say. To
No,
give you
I
an
love it, though.
idea,
It is a little
a
dick
half
thing to
pipe.
say.
But Sean
you're
Avery's kind of a
looking-
dick, so it's okay.
if you're looking up a building and like go stand on the second floor, that's how far you drop into a half pipe. It's 22-foot walls, and then you're going up and doing tricks. And like if you land properly, it's gonna go really well. If you don't, you're landing like 2 stories down, or you're landing on the deck and then bouncing down. I mean,
Sounds like my summer in college.
it's probably, yeah. Imagine doing that at like 42.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No, I mean the knees ache, right? Like, do you have any lasting? Because it takes me
Yeah, I'm in
sometimes
chronic
6
pain.
to 12 minutes to get to the bathroom, and it's right next to my bed. What about you? Like, do you have the aches and pains in the morning?
I'm in like chronic pain. So when I crashed in 2014, I had 2 vertebrae in my neck out of place, broke a lot of ribs, and smashed my hip. So yeah, it's like 8 years later, and I'm still kind of dealing with that. And like my rotation, like that hurts. Just rotating hurts.
My favorite story from you, Mercedes, is when I interviewed you and you said that you went to the doctors because you had been like not feeling that great or something for like 6 months. You had a previous injury,
Pancreatitis.
and he was like, "Yeah, you got a few cracked ribs," and you were just like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I didn't
You
know.
started laughing.
I had no idea.
Funny. That's why you're tougher than anyone on this panel, right?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Why.
Well, like I said, you just like sport. If you look at Max Perot and you look at Mark McMorris, they get back up and do what they love to do, and that's what I did too. So
Yeah.
it just is what it is. You love the sport. I mean, I still snowboard. I went snowboarding yesterday. It's just at that caliber, I don't need to go to the gym twice a day anymore all week. Thank you.
Protein shakes, get a good night's sleep. You can go out for a few tequilas tonight if you like, and then come home and not have to worry about it. None of those guys can because they're prepping, right?
I love tequila, and
I
I
know.
cheers to all of them that were competing.
You
now
know
I
what?
get to drink and watch.
Yeah.
Tequila
You
is
need
a
tequila
popular,
sponsor. You need
a popular drink with athletes. I wonder what there's got to be a. I know a lot of high end athletes, and they love tequila.
Dude,
Upper.
Mercedes is
depressant.
insane. Yeah,
It's an
Mercedes
upper.
is nuts.
Okay.
Like she used to like fly 40 feet through the air. Do you think she's afraid of tequila and what
No,
happens?
do you know
after she drinks it?
really a thing? So I'll go to the bar and I'll be like, oh, I'll just have a tequila on ice. And people are like, beefy. Like, that's a big order. And I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big deal. But like to other people, that's a little bit intimidating, I guess.
Yeah, like have you ever gone out with a dude and sat down and
I'm
he's
on the
like,
diet beers.
I'll have a Cosmo, and you're like, tequila on the rocks, please.
Yeah, who's going to date this?
Michelob Ultra.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
Merc-
thinking it's she just described the major trauma in most heavy car accidents on the 401 as though it was like that's just what happens. And I would expect that you would have to drink tequila.
It must be some.
Actually,
something
I've
about
heard this from a baseball player, from Reggie Bush. You guys remember that guy?
Player.
I was in Miami, and our hotel rooms were beside each other, and I asked him why he drank tequila all the time, and he said a lot of athletes did because it gets them to point A to point B quicker because they go to bed earlier. That's what he said. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
So
It's an upper. It's a different kind of like buzz for sure.
It's a stone. You get a little bit. Yeah.
Body
yeah.
buzz.
Gets into your head.
And they don't feel bad the next morning.
No.
Winning.
Well,
A lot of people
you
don't
could
get
do is just,
hungover from tequila.
or pot.
Reggie Bush, by the way, Ray Routh was both a baseball player and a football player. But okay.
Yeah. I think I said he was a baseball player too.
Well, while everyone's watching the half pipe tonight, just think about how big those walls are. The thing that really pisses me off about what we're going to watch tonight is, if you watch it tonight, which I hope you do,
I will.
the camera is above, and you can see the wires in their training. There's like a camera above the half pipe, which is complete bullshit because you can't actually see how big they're going if it's like a bird's eye view. So it's such a skewed view for anyone. At least the judges can watch from the bottom. That's the camera that should be like on all the time. There's a camera at the bottom, so you get to see how big they're
For
going.
perspective.
Is that
have
for
a
safety,
question.
Mercedes, where they put the cameras this year?
No,
Possibly.
it's just stupid, and they've done it for the last like 3 years or
They
3
need you.
Olympics.
They need you. They
She
need
was
you
a
in there with the
consultant.
camera angles. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone tells them.
What is? Can I ask about the judging?
Oh, yeah.
It could, because like I watched some judged sports this year. I did some snowboarding, watched a little bit of that, and then I watched some like some skiing and not the super downhill or whatever, the spinny ones, like the aerials.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is it that, because everybody else is different, right? And then I watched not long ago the whole Russian cheating out Jamie Salé, who's gone nuts, by the way, Jamie Salé and David Peltier out of the, because it was another judged sport. Do you think that like judged sports in the Olympics, because it just seems so arbitrary, specifically with some of the snowboarding? Do you think that the people are going to fucking, especially Olympic athletes that are there dedicating 4 years of their life, and they get there and then they got to put their performance up against someone who might be from another country that might not like your country, and the politicization of all this shit? Do you think judging is a problem in Olympic sports?
For sure, it always will be. It's not like it's a race, but I think when you are an athlete and it comes down to it, the best that you can do is be really proud of the run that you put down. And then if you're in a sport with like a bubble like snowboarding, to have your like other people around you be like, you got robbed, so that
Can I ask
it makes
can
you
I
feel
ask-
better for sure. But
Who judges snowboarding, and why wouldn't it be retired snowboarders?
a lot of them are snowboarders. I'm not like they're Guillaume Morissette. I don't know if he's judging these Olympics, but he is probably he went to the Olympics as well. So they do have past Olympic athletes. A lot of them, though, are not. But they've been watching snowboarding for freaking ever. So they know pretty much what's going to happen.
Like, you should
But
be a
again,
judge.
it's tough. I would
Yeah,
never
why
want to
wouldn't
be
they
a
make
judge.
former-
No, I would never want to be a judge.
Yeah,
No,
you would.
It's
Think
a
of all the
wiring.
money. Think of all the
They
under
don't
the table
get paid
money you
that
could make.
much. Oh, I could like hustle
Under the
on
table, yeah.
side.
Hold on a second. You're a Canadian Olympic athlete. Okay, they probably get paid okay. You know what I mean? Like,
To
they're
judge. To judge.
Oh
What do
yeah,
you mean?
The judge,
especially if
yes.
you're in
Judge.
someone's pocket.
All the judges have other jobs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Sure
Yeah,
they do.
it's wild.
Doesn't
It's a
sound
wild
like it.
ride. I mean, yeah, judge sports. You pick
Yeah.
and choose.
Yeah, I hate the judge of sports. I really fucking do. Anytime you put like someone's performance over a lifetime in the hands of someone who might want to get $500 from some Russian guy, it's like, hey,
Hope
a couple points over here. It just seems fucking crazy to me that there's still judge sports in the Olympics. Like, there's got to be a metric for slope style. There's got to be a metric for half pipe where you can say, okay, this is what we saw. He landed this, she landed that, and these are the technical scores, but they have nothing to do with like the arbitrary judging of an individual from, like, I don't know, China.
They
Why
put
would they
in
even?
safety measures.
Why would they even need judges? Like, the same concept that Major League Baseball uses to judge balls and strikes, where they use that radar, and then you combine that with that whole virtual reality thing, where you fashion the body with like sensors so that they can
Right.
tell when you're in the air if you did the move right. You know what I mean? Like,
lot
How
of
many
use
of those
your
shrooms
wanna
have you
see
had
the-
today?
Yeah,
You want to
none.
see the
I'm a
athletes with the
thinking
little
man.
balls
You
on them?
fuck.
Yeah, I don't.
Bald bastard.
I don't, Mercedes.
No,
I was-
they're RF. No, honestly, they're RFID chips now.
I know,
that
they
are
use
like
them
the
in
size of a
X-Games.
Tic Tac.
They're
They're
in
the
our
size of a Tic
vaccines.
Tac, and you can put them all over your joints, and that's how they film like superhero movies and shit like that.
Mm.
What I'm just thinking there's more of a personal nuance to what Mercedes did that probably gets critiqued a bit.
Yeah, it's overall impression as well.
Yeah.
It's execution.
Yeah. Who's
overall
smoother? Who has that
impression.
smoother? Like, they could land the same, but somebody just might have just done it that much better. You know, like.
Did you ever get a bad score from one of the judges, and which didn't make any sense, and you walked up and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing? That was a great run."
For sure.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Pyeongchang, I was pissed because I landed the 900 that took me out, but I wasn't riding as well as I had before, and I was like fuming. I went from like the happiest moment to like fuming, and I was like getting the coach to go in and talk to the judges. I'm like, why am I not in semifinals? And then I was like, calm your shit down. It's gonna be okay. Namaste.
It takes that passion though to be an Olympian, and that's I think the whole thing about it, right? So it's part of the game.
If you don't have that, you're not training twice a day.
No,
Exactly.
no. But sorry, go ahead, Locke.
I was just going to say, have any of us trained twice a day for anything in our lives?
No.
I don't get passionate about
No.
anything like
Addiction.
that.
No, if someone said to me, you have a chance of being an Olympic athlete at 48, Dean, you just got to train twice a day, I'd say, I'm okay, man. I don't need it.
I'm pretty successful at drinking every day, but I'm not sure that counts.
I was going to say, we should
I'm
have
pretty
an
sure any
Olympics
one of us
luck
could be a curler in 4 years. No?
curling.
Have you guys
come
ever
on,
curled?
guys.
I've never
Oh, yeah.
curled.
Curling's easy. I could be an Olympic curler,
That's
no
what I
problem.
mean.
Yeah,
I
so
am
could Locke.
fucking awesome at curling. They
Have
let
you guys
me
been
throw
watching any of the
first
curling?
rocks.
They got the
No.
they have lights on them now that blink. Have you seen this? Like I had no idea
Oh, fuck.
with the curlers.
Is
They got
Fox-
lights on
Fox
them that
News doing
blink
it?
when they're going. No, I don't know, but it's like blinking lights. I noticed that, and I noticed that a lot of the skiing. Have you guys been watching the skiing? Looks like it's in a gravel pit. I don't know if there's like nice places in and around China for skiing, but it is like a couple of white lines. And everything else is brown. It doesn't look like it's super
It's
cool.
all
to do that.
man-made
Making
snow. All
snow.
man-made.
They're making
Is it
snow
really?
like
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
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 What are the snow conditions like? Have they said anything about the man-made snow?
It's not great. I mean, if you watch the women's, what did they do? GS, like a lot of women crashed because they're used to like going on like ice, like super ice, and this is more of a kind of man-made snow is more like a chalky snow, and it's not very forgiving either. So a lot of
to
people
be
are kinda
fair,
getting
it's in
caught up.
China, so it's not really man-made snow. It's probably child-made snow. So
All right.
what?
You have a point. Yeah. Anyway, Mercedes Nicholl, 4-time Olympian, at Mercedes Nicholl on Twitter. Dropping in with Mercedes Nicholl is the name of her podcast. You can get it anywhere you get your fine podcasts: Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, etc. And you can go to deanblundell.com and get it as well. Please follow her because it is so fun watching your tweets pop up of two televisions, one on the floor, one on the wall. Yay, ladies. It's just fucking awesome to watch it. So I really appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me. Nice to see you guys, and tune in tonight
Nice
for
to
the
see you,
snowboarding.
Mercedes.
We will.
Absolutely.
Don't worry.
Also, Mercedes is part of the Pink Shirt Day discussion with James P. White, Jesse Lumsden, and also Kelly Farlardo from Edmonton, and the four of them are going to be putting on having a conversation Q&A about bullying, and you can actually fire me a note on any of my social media, and I'll send you the link to sign up. Schools, anybody, if you've got somebody in the family that's been bullied, if you just want to hang out and hear a couple of Olympians and Jimmy and Kelly talk, send me a link too, or send me a note, and I'll send you the link.
Thanks, Mercedes. Oh, she's gone already.
Oh.
She just took off.
She's awesome.
Irish exit.
She is incredible. Both
Yeah, she
guests
is
we had today. Mike was great. Haven't seen him in like 25 years. She was great. Randy Hillier's been great. Quick question, James. Is
I wanted
Randy?
to say something
You
too
talked to
quick
him
before you're done. Yeah.
about what?
Go ahead.
No, I'm asking
Go
you a
ahead.
question.
about what do I
Yeah.
I don't talk to him on
You're
a
the
regular
only
basis.
person in the middle of someone saying, "James, can I ask you a question?" Goes, "I want to talk about something else."
I want to ask
No,
you
I
a
didn't-
question
I-
first.
I didn't anticipate you saying that. I thought you were going to say something else. So go ahead. I thought you were
Yeah,
ready
well,
to go.
you have no idea what I'm thinking. No one knows what I'm thinking. That's the whole idea,
true.
right? Like, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what Locke's thinking right now. I don't know what Ryan's
You
thinking.
probably know what I'm thinking.
Probably not. I have no idea what you're thinking
I'd
because
like to
when
say
you
what I'm thinking.
do. But we had, of course, Randy Hillier trending today. We started this. Randy Hillier is a Russian asset. It is now #1 in Canada because it's true, whether he believes it or knows it or not. I mean, we showed you the receipts, right? Him talking about how great Russia is here, him saying, fuck Canada, Russia's the best here, him posting these pictures of Israeli tank shells to use against Canadians that he doesn't think are free. Anybody that disagrees with him. You spoke with him today. Yesterday, you tried to get him on the show, and you were kind enough to be in our corner when he tweeted to you, quote, Dean Blundell is a lying cocksucker, and I will never go
No,
on
he
the
didn't
show.
tweet
Affiliate
that.
was
He
texted.
He said that to me verbally over the phone. Yeah.
Okay, so he said that to you verbally over the phone.
That's a transcript, yeah.
And then again today, he said the same thing, pretty much.
Do you think we've angered him?
Well, I wouldn't use the word we. You know,
It's pretty generous of you there.
You definitely have angered him, which is probably why he called you a cocksucker and a liar. But listen, I've known Randy for 10 years. I've known Randy for 10 years. Okay. And the first time that I spoke with him is because he was actually quite an advocate for vaping technology as a smoking cessation device so that people could get off cigarettes. And he was like on the front lines. He even vaped up at Queen's Park once. Got booted out of Queen's Park for that. So I knew I didn't share his politics, but I liked that part of the issue.
He's back on the smokes too, right?
Yeah. Well, he never quit. He was like a hybrid, right? And then our paths crossed because he was. I strongly believe that he was the leak of the caucus meeting for the Conservatives when they were trying to conduct a real coup and get rid of Patrick Brown. And he was one of the main guys that tried to do that. And so I used to talk to him and just try to get him to give me information. And he would love to string me along and then not give me anything. And I'm like, Randy, I know it was you. You're not supposed to lead caucus meetings. I kind of let him have it once, and then we didn't talk for years. And then now it's just, it's one of those things where he is so far gone. Do you guys remember before we had him on? I was like, look, I don't agree with his politics, but I don't think he's crazy.
You thought he was normal.
Ever since I said that, it's
deserves
just
a voice.
been like
It's your
completely, yeah.
You
you
weaponized Randy Hillier.
James, it's a coup d'etat. Our government is doing this to us, and I was just like, no, I don't think it is.
We've watched
and
countless people like this in our lives. You're right. Like we've all got stories of people in our own family that have just spiraled like crazy. And it's
yeah, but this is seditious. This is like, Randy Hillier went on Russian state television and shit all over the country and lied about an insurrection that is an insurrection and lied about a state of emergency that is not a state of emergency in this Canada and lied about everything. He lied his dick off for Vladimir Putin and Russia. And
I gotta say,
and for some reason, for some reason, he seems to think that I'm an asshole, which is really fucking incredible to me because
money?
I don't know. That part I don't know. We're sourcing it and finding out. We got lots of people working on it, but like this is fucking egregious. The shit that he has been posting about how great Russia is for weeks. He's been doing it for weeks, and all of it led up to his appearance on Russian state television. Again, here's the video where he clearly lies about what's going on in Canada, which has gone all across Russian state television socials, all out to every right-winger, which is being used against this country, you, me, right now. Watch the video.
The mayor's decision to declare a state of emergency really necessary here?
No, it's absolutely a falsehood. It's a fabrication. It's a pretext for what's actually our government is doing. What we're seeing, in my view, is that there is an insurrection against the people of Canada by our elected officials, by our government. This is a very peaceful, friendly, energetic festival and winter carnival that is happening.
Well,
hang
how
on.
is it? And this is a question for the group. I come from a country and a time where that guy is in chains for doing that. That's the country I come from. I come from a time where that guy is not allowed to talk like that about this country. Specifically, he's an elected official because that is sedition. That is absolute grand sedition.
That's a good point.
And it's happening
He's an MP.
right now. He is a member of provincial parliament. He is a governor of this province and a representative of an entire fucking group around Ottawa. It is fucking bizarre that he still has a Twitter account It is bizarre that he's allowed to tweet. It is fucking even crazier that Doug Ford hasn't fucking pooched him out of office because he has that power to do it.
Yeah.
And he's out there courting Russia, bigging up Russia. And Russia is right now involved with the MAGA I almost said a bad word. MAGA fucks. And it wasn't that word. It was a different word. MAGA fucks, and they are the ones that are legitimately organizing this. Let me show you a press conference. James put this video up on his feed, at James D. Fiore. This is a press conference of all these MAGA fucks that are working with Russian people, Russian intelligence, which we know, standing talking about how they were going to take over the government, and all they need is all the parties to come together. And then he makes a fucking 357 Magnum 22 caliber joke. Watch this.
We're here to talk. Let's find a peaceful resolution to this. I want to go home. I want to go home. But I'm not. I'm not going until I'm no longer needed here. And based on all the support that we have from the people of Canada, I have an incredible amount of support and a lot of people that seem to want me here. And I'm not going home until the job is done. Okay? I am not calling for violence. I'm not expecting you to get into your vehicle, drive here, and create problems, create crimes. Okay, that's not what we're saying. Strength in numbers. We got sent here to send a message. The message isn't getting through. He's not getting it. And I apologize if I'm bashing the guy, but honestly, from my assessment, he's got a 22 caliber mind in a 357 world. Okay? Let's get at a table, for God's sakes. Enough hiding. I'm willing to sit at a table with the Conservatives and the NDP and the Bloc as a coalition. I'll sit with the Governor General. You put us at the table with somebody that actually cares about Canada.
Who
These
is
guys
that
say
guy?
Tom Mazzaro. Do you know anything about him, James?
I
Tom
know
Mazzaro?
nothing.
No, I know nothing about him.
I saw a bunch of
That's the
tweets
weird part
wondering
about
who
this.
the fuck he was. Like,
Yeah.
he wants to
Name's
sit
Tom
down and be
Mazzaro.
a part of the decision-making process in Canada, and we
Yeah.
like, what? I didn't vote for this guy.
No,
Didn't
none of
Throw
us
the
did.
whole parliamentary system for him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Come
That's
on
what
in.
he wants. That's what they're asking for here. They're asking for all the other parties to get together so that they can sit down and remove Trudeau. Now, everybody's like, where's Trudeau? He's hiding. Listen, there isn't a world that exists where the leader of a country meets with a bunch of fucking far-right nationalist extremists who want to hang him to have a constructive conversation about him leaving. And by the way, I've never voted for Justin Trudeau. These fucks have just absolutely guaranteed that I will get out the stump for him in the next election, because he's not a dangerous cock like these guys are. He's not an extremist. He's not a fucking racist. He's not a white supremacist. He actually gives a shit about what goes on in this country. I think he's woke and useless. Dude, I wrote an article about him a while ago, and it was entitled, and I quote, Justin Trudeau is a national embarrassment. If you Google his name on our site in the search bar, you will get tons of those articles about how much I dislike this man. But you can guarantee yourself
I think
that
they're doing
after-
more damage.
after all this shit is done, I will haul ass for votes for the Liberal Party and this guy so that we can fucking stick a stake in this movement and this group. Now, I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know
not
if
alone.
he's the guy to do it.
I
But
think a lot of people
do you know
are
how
that
many
way.
conservative people I've been talking to over the past few days and people involved in government that are like, hold it. This is beyond the pale. This is an attempt at an insurrection to take over a duly elected government by a bunch of fucking creeps. And let me point out, did you see this one creep in the back? See this guy? Did you see him standing in the back looking all tough? Do you know who he is? This guy? Tough guy? Do you know
I
who
don't
he
know
is?
who any of these
Spock's
people are.
bastard.
I do.
That's
And
a-
by the
that's-
way,
Oh,
none
shit,
of the
not anymore.
insurrection
Anymore.
chicks are good looking. But let me say this. Paul E. Alexander is a former Trump admin guy, and he's from Canada. And this guy is the MAGA liaison that reports back to all of his alt-right mommies and daddies like Ron DeSantis, Ken Paxton, Donald Trump Jr., the other kid, burn victim Trump, Eric, the guy that looks like he got burned, burn victim Trump. They're all involved in this. And the goal is to appease their Russian masters. And that's why you're seeing all these cats all over RT. That's why you're seeing these guys. And the handholder is is legitimately an unemployed doctor. He is unemployed, who worked for Homeland Security. He was the guy who said, fuck the vaccines on behalf of Donald Trump. We need herd immunity. And he was duly pumped out of the United States, and he is absolutely a fixture in this group. The guy in front of him in the hat, that is Chris Barber. He is a well-known white supremacist and extremist who hates people of color, fucking hates. You can go and read all about him at deanblundell.com.
It doesn't take long to find videos either.
Just
No.
fucking, and this woman over here, that's Tamara Litch. She's the yellow vester that threatened to hang Justin Trudeau a while ago. These two guys with beards in the back, they probably just can't wait to get back to the sauna and lather each other up. I bet this is the group. This is who we're talking about. And these are the guys coming after our country. These are the guys facilitating. And none of this has to do with truckers. When was the last time you heard the word trucker?
Are any of
A few
them
days
truckers?
ago?
When's the last time you heard mandate?
Not one.
When's the last
Maybe
time you heard
Chris Barber.
vaccine border mandate? I haven't heard that either in
Not
a long
a word.
time.
Because
Because the narrative is shifting.
Yeah.
Strategically shifting, because that was the goal all along. It's the same people that organized the Yellow Vest movement in Alberta, Locke. You guys were talking about it today.
Yeah.
It's the same people. They're the exact same people, and it failed then. So this time, hey, let's try again. It's not going to fail this time. The momentum and the money anyway.
They failed like their Jesus Christ failed.
Yeah. If I could just make two small points, because I think one thing I when you guys talk about the Russia stuff, I cringe a little, not because of you, but because remember when we had Glenn Greenwald on the show last year, and he was talking a lot about how MSNBC and all of these progressive outlets and reporters were reporting on Russia rumor and Russia and circumstantial evidence as if they had proven some sort of court case. And then by the time Trump got out of office, it turns out like maybe 30% of the shit that they reported was actually accurate. So I just want to be like careful that we don't fall into those same traps, because it's going to look silly on us if in 6 months we find out maybe Russia had absolutely nothing to do with this, but these guys still placated towards them because that's what they do.
I don't think we've said anything that egregious in that regard. I understand what you're saying, but I think Randy Hillier is being a Russian asset is a funny hashtag. But he's also probably like not actually a Russian asset. I don't think you meant it literally, but maybe what he is a useful idiot. You know, maybe what he is.
I think that the term asset might have been taken a bit at
He's
liberty
helping
there.
them.
In the article, because I actually posted something about it. I said he doesn't know that he's one.
Exactly.
Like,
he's a useful idiot then. Yeah.
Bingo, useful idiot, but a useful idiot who's a Russian asset.
It doesn't make any
he's
sense.
fucked in the head. He's fucking
It's like
crazy,
a dog with
dude.
a bone. It's because they gave him questions that fit his narrative, and now he loves them. So now it's Russia, Russia, Russia.
And
But
the other
this
quick
is
point that I
before
wanted to
he-
make,
this is
just
before he
the
showed
second
up
quick
on-
point that
on-
I wanted to make really quickly is that I think we also should remember that despite the fact that there's like MAGA influence and foreign money, we should all be breathing a sigh of relief that it is with the brain trust in charge of this movement, it will be impossible for them to do anything damaging to this country as far as insurrections are concerned.
I also had a conversation with somebody today about how
It's
we're
just
actually
fun.
this give send grift, the Christian money people that took over the GoFundMe.
Jesus
It's
money.
it's actually a good thing, because they've actually incorporated a Trucker Freedom Convoy charity now. Apparently there's a business and so now what happens when that money gets released, because there is Give, Send, Go will give them the money. It's going to get released into a Canadian bank account, and once it lands in the Canadian bank account for a Canadian charity, it's up for scrutiny at that point.
Mine.
And I don't know if I'm sure they are, but once FinTrack sees it, CSIS is going to be all over this. Like, everybody's like, the world's watching this. If they think that bank account isn't going to get torn apart by jackals from everywhere to make sure that every red cent, no pun intended, is accounted for, that money's not going anywhere anyway. So I really don't think they're going to see it.
Is that money, I think, is it's like I'll steal a bit of a term here. It's like a dog whistle for a lot of the politicians and people that spend their days trying to figure out how to bring more donations into their campaign coffers, right? They're seeing that money being dumped into these accounts going, maybe if I'm a little more sympathetic to the Coots border crossing, there'll be a possibility some of that money will come my way.
I think they made a fatal mistake today.
Yeah.
With their sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I wanted to say, Ryan, honestly, because it's mind-boggling watching politicians dance around this and trying to they're almost placating to it, right? Again, they're that extreme side of our lives and the extreme side of the fringe groups. They're loud right now, and they're confusing the politicians that live and die by making decisions that bring in money, right? Like
question for the group
spinning.
Question for the group along those lines. Thank you for bringing that up. In terms of how this is presented to people, and James, you bring up good points, and listen, I wouldn't be suggesting that these cats are involved and Randy's a useful idiot if I didn't know that and have these several conversations ahead. I think you guys know that, right, about me, is that, I'm not gonna just come out and go, he's a Russian asset just because I feel like fucking him over, even though I do. I enjoy that part of it. Like I said to someone that sent me a note from CTV today, they asked me for some information and questions, and I'm like, I don't, and I have the information and I can't answer the questions, but I enjoy this. While everybody's out there going, why are you so afraid of these people? Or why aren't you more afraid of these people? I'm standing here going, what are you afraid of? Why are you scared to call this what it is? Why are we so afraid? And this is a question for the group. Mainstream media is afraid to call it what it is. Politicians are afraid to call it what it is. Influencers, famous people in this country, blue check marks who, if you're white, it would be really handy to go, hey, this is a lot of white privilege running around and we need to fucking stop this because this is our country and we're proud of it. We love it. We like the collective freedoms that we all share in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And they're shitting on it, right? They're legitimately, this group is shitting all over the way that Canada is supposed to work for each other.
I have an answer.
Please.
So I think what's happening is it's similar to when a couple of years ago, I started to notice a bit of a trend. And when there was a lot of conversation in Canada about Trump and people started to get sick of it. A lot of people started to shut down, literally, I think just to save themselves. They started, I was doing it and I was talking about it. I was talking to other people about what they were doing. They were turning the TV off. I was going home. I was fixated with it. I was turning on CNN as soon as I got home and make my sandwich and watch it. And then I run downstairs, do my prep, run back upstairs, watch CNN. And there seemed to be, there was a minority in Canada that were very vocal about the Trump thing, the movement in the States, and they almost sort of adopted it as and it still happened. Yeah. They're using all of the touchstone, the rhetoric, everything, the narrative. It's still quite common to hear somebody, and those people are the most aggressive people in your family, in your social media feed, at work. They're the ones that everyone hates it when they come into the lunchroom. They're the loudest guys in the truck on the way to the job site, and they bully everybody into submission. And if you disagree with them, all they do is they throw at you. They have their lines ready to go, right? And you're a communist, or and it's that kind of energy is behind this trucker convoy as well. And if you're in the media, if you have a job of reporting this, you're in the face of that, and it's coming back at you. And if you're a politician, you have people in your constituents and stuff. They're the ones that are writing angry fucking email. So that group is loud. it might not be the majority. It might even be a small percentage of the actual population of Canada or your town or whatever, or even your work. But it seems like it's more than it is. And most
scares people.
It scares people. And most people just want it to fucking stop. So they don't say anything. That person, when he doesn't get a response back, assumes that that's a sign that they're agreeing with him.
Yeah, or that he's an alpha now, like he or she.
And it's seeped its way into decision making in media outlets. It's seeped its way into rooms where they write articles. Seeped its way into conversations around tables about how to deal with this. Yeah. We all just want that loud asshole to shut the fuck up. And maybe if we give him some sort of perception that he might be right or she might be right, maybe they'll go away and be quieter. I think that's what we're dealing with right now, and I think that's I think that's why they think they have more support than they do. We had a guy this morning text us going, "What the fuck are you talking about? Edmonton is a fucking convoy city, the whole fucking city." And I'm like, that guy right there has berated everybody in his life into submission, and he actually thinks that his mom, his kids, his wife all think he's right. And all they want him to do is go
shut the fuck up.
Maybe some medication.
Trump,
that's a great point.
Just before Trump got elected, one of the most interesting things about him and his candidacy was that when they did polling, the people who were supporting Trump, millions of them, their second choice was Bernie Sanders. And vice versa. Trump on paper was the anti-politician.
Yeah.
On paper, he was not a foreign policy hawk. On paper, he was pro economic job growth and all that kind of stuff. And he was anti-woke. And on paper, all of that sounds really attractive. And then when that paper turned out to be a fleshy reality, the people who supported him felt vindicated, and the people up here, to your point, Lachlan, felt like they finally had something within the realm of politics that they could cling to. The apathetic in this country were woken up with Trump. And unfortunately, people who had never been concerned about politics before all of a sudden became concerned about politics as they rallied behind this orange rodeo clown. And when we up here look at the good news, the salvation up here is that there is almost zero Trumpian type Canadian who would choose Jagmeet Singh as their second choice. And the reason why that's good news is because we know exactly who they are. We know that they're going to vote for either the PPC, the Conservatives, or not vote. And then we can, what we should do? The Liberals, if they were smart and they didn't care about power, so this is obviously never going to happen.
Waterboard them.
They would do what Israel does. They would start talking about forming coalition governments. Start getting along. What do the NDP and the Liberals really have to argue about at the end of the day? They probably agree on, they probably agree
everything.
on they probably agree on like 90-95% of things. Just state it implicitly. Go in front of the cameras and be like, look, like now that the Conservatives have decided to take a right turn into loony Trump land, we're going to form a coalition government. I don't care who you vote for. You vote for NDP, you vote Liberal, whatever. Like,
we're going to work together.
We're going to work together at this, like they do in Israel. Israel's not the greatest model of this because there's a lot of religious parties in there, but you know what I mean, right? Like, instead of like a minority government used to be when Stephen Harper was prime minister, the minority governments that he led were the greatest governments. the people got along, like, things were funded, taxes were cut, like it was great. And then as soon as Harper got a majority government, what happened? He started to plummet in popularity because they tried to milk the majority government for everything it was worth. I think that we're at a crossroads in this country, and I think that maybe the silver lining to all of this is that we are going to reach some sort of crescendo in politics that is a lot better than what we're dealing with now, which is this tripartite type state, you know, where we have three different groups.
I think you're right. We're at a crossroads, but I'm not sure it has anything to do with politics. I think the crossroads is
Jesus.
No, I think the crossroads is the people that
sure it has a big
represent the middle that have no representation right now are getting so fucking agitated about the decisions that are being made because we don't have.
Look at how agitated Dean is. He just said he'd stump for Trudeau.
Well,
but just I'm telling you right now, that's where the revolution happens. It's
big
not
time.
A bunch of truckers or wannabe truckers
with us
in Ottawa. The revolution happens when
right here.
When everyone else wakes up and goes, you know what? Fuck, we've had enough with your woke bullshit and your alt-right crap. And now we need to get back. We need to get control of this back.
Right.
And that's when we turn this country around. And I don't know what it does, what needs to happen to get that level of apathy up to a point of action. Right. And it's not writing your MP. That's not what it is. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are really fucking mad. And it starts with the truckers that have been the ones that are busting their ass right now to keep working.
Real truckers
are watching this bullshit and their names are being dragged through the mud every day. Right. I was thinking about this, just a quick analogy. Based on the conversation we had yesterday with Jess, if you're at a house party and somebody walks in with a racist symbol, like wearing a jacket with a huge racist symbol on it, how quick are you to fucking leave? Like I would be out of.
If someone showed up to my dinner party with a Nazi flag on their coat, or like,
fucking gone.
I would say, hey, fuck you, get out of my house, you fuck. Right?
And
these guys
I'd
are
resort
like,
to violence. I would resort to violence.
That's. I mean, most of us. maybe there's a percentage of the population that would go, okay, it's one dude. Maybe we can ask him to leave. But no, now let's say two walk in, and then all of a sudden, he's got a friend. You're out of there.
The question isn't you should leave. The question is, are we all staying? And if we're all staying,
and these guys are all staying, dude.
They're
all staying. Every single one of these greasy white privilege parade fucks are staying because they want to make Canada way worse. They hate Canada.
We are watching this. The middle is watching this, and we're all getting madder. And madder and madder. I'm getting so mad that this is some sort of a representation of our country. I'm at a point where I'm so fucking confused.
The countrywide poll, the nationwide poll today stated that it was only 22% of the country is in favor of this, 11% is undecided, and the rest are vehemently opposed. So
the rest are like, fuck yourself. Fuck you. Fuck you and your friends.
It's a literal thirds poll.
And that's
33 to 33.
This is what we've been, in my opinion, this is what I've been waiting for, right? An opportunity for the 90 to go, all right, we've had enough. We have jobs to get to. We have kids to raise. We've got hockey practice to get to. We got bills to pay. It's fucking cold up here for 6 months of the year. We actually like our neighbors, even though that you don't. We don't subscribe to specific religious views. And if we do, like, I've never had more in common with everybody than I do now. And I think that that's the case with all Canadians, right?
And we're fine.
We all have something in common, and that's our hatred of these greasy fucks. So stand up to them. All of you, stand up to them. Now's not the time to go, I shouldn't tweet. Tweet. Fucking hit them back. Hit them back. I've been doing it for weeks, and it's not only awesome, but it's cathartic, makes you feel good, and I know what side I'm on. I fucking hate white supremacists. I hate these dickheads that are standing in the middle of the street, and it's not even in my fucking town. Do you know why? Because I fucking love this country and the people in it, but they are not mine. These are not Canadians. None of them. No matter what they tell you, they're not fucking Canadian.
I must have offered to help 50 people move today. And I don't even help my friends move.
It's funny because I went on a deep dive last night into Occupy Wall Street just to see if I could find any parallels, right? And there are a lot of parallels. Occupy Wall Street wasn't that popular.
I hated
a lot of people
that
think
too.
Yeah, they took over, what is it, Zuccotti Park? I can't remember the name of it, but it's something like that. Like, and they were there for 2 months. They also tried to do self-governance, and it was like by this gigantic committee of like 25 people,
losers,
who were trying to figure out where safe spaces were, and trying to make sure no one used a microaggression and all that shit. Like, it was ridiculed, and rightfully so. There are a lot of parallels. It's just that the issue was different. The issue that they were actually fighting against started off to be really good, which was don't bail out the banks.
It's how this always happens. And then you get the extremists on each side that fuck it up for everybody.
I said that this morning. There may have been a seed of good intention with this thing at the beginning, right? I also said this morning, and I think we need to settle in for this. Mm-hmm. I know how I'm wired. And if I was in control of things right now and they're telling me I have to make the change, I'm like, fuck you. You get another 3 months of fucking life. And not only that, lockdowns are going to be worse.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're putting
I can only mock the protesters when I'm wearing this. Okay, go ahead.
I honestly think that this whole thing, I think it's making it worse. We were on the verge of them lifting the mandates. They're having conversations about all this stuff.
Yep.
I think they've stopped it all. Now it's just
because they have to focus on this.
Well, they're not going to, but this is a federal thing, right? Like these guys are there to get rid of the federal mandates, which is like, you can't get on a plane if you don't have a fucking vaccination. That is really bothering these guys because they all want to go down to Florida and blow as many white supremacists as they can in Florida. That's what they want to do. They want to go down there for the Florida white supremacy convention somewhere near Mar-a-Lago. And so they're pissed that they can't go there. Then they see how Americans live and they're like, we want that. But what they don't realize is that country is completely a fucking third world shithole in most states. Like, it is legitimately garbage down there. And there are like 400 million guns running around and everybody gets shot. Like, it's just a fucking shithole. And they want that shithole. They want Canada to be like that shithole. And there's a group of 90% of us that have the ability to legitimately nip this in the bud, even though it's been a fucking 2-year process. Like, legitimately. And it's up to you. Like, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you and you and you and you. And you're listening to this. It is your job to call these fucks what they are. White supremacists, losers, assholes, degenerates that don't fucking care about this country or the Canadians in it. Fact. Who stops progress? People that don't want progress, right? And who stops Canadians from getting home to their families? Not Canadians. These are not Canadians. And if I'm Justin Trudeau, not only am I making the mandates go longer, I'm thinking about making them fucking mandatory. Just for them. Just for them. Like names. Pat King, you got to go get it.
This is the frustration.
Ben Dichter, you got to go get it. Nobody else, just the organizers. Hold them down and make them fucking get vaccinated.
You called it the other day, and it was off the cuff, and I don't even know if you realized how brilliant it was at the time. But Dean called this the "Don't Tell Me What to Do" rally. Like, I mean, that's what this is. I mean, that's exactly what this is. Because they're even in that press conference.
Don't tread on me.
Guy that nobody knows anything about. They don't really. They want to sit down and talk about what?
Nothing.
What do they
about what they don't like? They didn't get what they wanted. This is legitimately, we didn't get what we wanted, so we want it now.
And you know what? To your point, Dean, if you watch that video again next time, because I've watched that video 4 or 5 times today, trying to figure out the whole connection thing. The only time that any of the ones in the background get any sort of like look of enthusiasm is when he makes that analogy to the bullets, which is hilarious to me. It's the only time you see them all nod like this, and that one girl that's sitting there trying to be all stone-faced, she smiles and yeah, that's right. Like it's Trump light is what this is. It's America light, just trying to fucking push in to shit.
They lost there. They'll lose here.
Garbage.
I think what they should do is release like documents in caucus meetings to show with the date stamp for decisions for loosening restrictions and mandates were made before the protest started. Even if they don't believe it, I don't care. But to extend the mandates, and blame it on them, I think would actually have a reverse effect. I think I would just inflame them even more. And I think what we
probably
want
get some
these
more
people
support
to do,
too.
I think what we want these people to do is go home and stay the fuck home. Right? That's what we want.
I know you want that.
Ideas, but
I know you want that, and I know like like-minded people that want this thing to get better are like,
this is the bat talking.
Well, no, hold it.
Yep.
You guys are like, because we've seen
content.
this. Like, we've been nice to these fucking losers for 2 years. I am not. I do not have that gear anymore.
You're looking for revenge, is what you're.
Nah,
looking
I'm
for.
not. I'm not. You know,
When have
and
you
it was-
been nice to them?
It's
When did that happen?
always been nice.
There
to these guys.
might have been a week.
Couple stories. No, but like I mean, in terms of watching everybody else be nice to them, like
Yeah.
news outlets go, oh, they just have an alternative opinion that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Or politicians are like, oh, things have been tough for 2 years. Like I saw a couple of liberal politicians come out and go, we don't like these mandates. And I'm like, nobody does, you dumb fucks. Like we get it.
We've been
these
saying
mandates-
The
it
whole
for
country is in on that with you. We are with you. Now
Maybe
fucking do
truckers-
something about it.
Maybe the truckers who aren't part of like this protest and don't believe in these things should
What's
start
that?
putting something on their truck. You know what I mean? Like a check mark or something hanging. I'm not being funny, but like hanging from, you know how like breast cancer is
Truck
like
nuts?
pink ribbon or
Like
whatever?
a gold star? Is that what
Just
you're asking
something
for in
where-
the commie
where
land?
people will be like, holy shit, like I went for a drive on the highway and like every truck had a fuck the truckers in Ottawa like symbol or whatever the fuck it would
Yeah.
be, so that people know
That's a
that.
great, James. That's
Yeah,
a great
I'm not
idea.
wrong. Am I not
I
wrong?
like it. I like it.
Good.
It's a good idea.
That's sowing more
love it.
division, James.
How
on the
about this?
Dean
How
Blundell
about we
show. It's
just
great.
stop referring to truckers because none of those fucking guys are truckers.
That's really what we need to do. We need to stop. They want to change the narrative from
Stop.
vaccine mandates to freedom, general blanket freedom. Then we're
Yeah.
going to stop calling them truckers because it's not truckers.
It is a white supremacy hillbilly rally.
Anti-vax hillbilly rally.
You know, the
Yeah.
longer they stay there, the more Sergeant Cletus clips I can put out. So I'm kind of happy about that.
That's right. It is good for content. Don't
Yeah,
get us wrong. We're all being very noble here in our
I had a
intentions,
moment
but
of
holy fucking clicks,
when
boys.
Trump got booted off Twitter, I was like,
Guess it's over.
Well, that's why I don't
don't
want
have
Randy
anything to
Hillier
do.
to go away either, though, because then what are we going to report on?
Whoa. I haven't talked about Randy Hillier for a long time, and he literally went across the line.
That's what I mean. Oh no,
So,
no, no, it's
like
good.
when you guys are all going, yeah, we got to be nice if we want to get through these, just get them to go home. Sure, maybe you're right. That is not what I'm going to do.
I don't know.
No.
I
You
have
just heard
no
me
intention.
say it. That's not what I
dude,
meant.
I have no intention of helping these guys across the bridge of life kindly. So, because of what they're doing, and it's my
Does
joy.
anyone- does anyone think that being nice or giving them some sort of concession would
Yes.
get these guys home? I don't
Yes.
No,
Yes,
no,
dude. Why are they still there then?
because it's not going to take a small. This is not a negotiation. This is not going to be one small cookie. Hey, we'll tell you what. We'll tell Canada that you are the ones that said we don't have to wear masks in the liquor store anymore. Then they're going to go home. That's not it. They're
not
in
that.
it. They're in it to win it now, and this is
but
all.
you could also
that
you
has,
could also
it has
tell-
They want
amplified
martyrdom.
all week
They-
long. It's gone from we want them to drop the federal mandates on the vaccines to we want all mandates done.
I want
to,
double stuff
I want
Oreos.
freedom, unconditional freedom was the words they
Yeah.
used today in that press conference. So
stop marginalizing brony boys or whatever the fuck the My Little Pony fetish is. You know, and also that thing from the press conference today, Tom Fellatio, whatever the fuck his name, Malazzo, what was his name?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy blowjob. Yeah.
You
Tommy
know how you
blowjobs?
can the giveaway that
did
it
he
was
come
not
from?
something that was serious wasn't even about the analogy for me, you know, although that was ridiculous. It was about the fact that in the first 2 minutes that he was talking, he said I and me and referenced himself and how supporters are telling him to say you're not
Nobody
a
knew who you were
professional
yesterday.
negotiator. You're not
No.
any. You should never use that pronoun, except right at the beginning when you're like, "I am here to say that the people at this protest," and you just ignore yourself and talk about it. He didn't
Have you
do
not
any of that.
listened to these guys go off on their own when they got a camera in front of them? Like this is a video that was circulating. It was Pat King, virulent racist, that he took of himself a couple of years ago. Absolute white supremacist, massive piece of shit. And he's one of the organizers. And people started throwing this around Twitter yesterday like he just recorded this, but he didn't. This is the little dick energy that is behind this group. Seriously, watch this. He's one of the fucking organizers.
You got another thing coming. I have a record the size of my fucking arm. I am not a nice person. And I know what's coming. And I know what I'm getting prepared for. And I'll tell you right now, Not a single person out there who's fucking going to be able to stand up to what's coming. I guarantee it. And I guarantee it, each and every one of you are going to run like little bitches. Yeah, I said little bitches. Because I've had just about enough. All you little fucking pukes. Giver. Can't wait to watch you cower and fucking run in shame. Run scared. I got pepper sprayed. I got rubber bulleted. You have no idea what's coming. Rubber bullets and pepper spray are fuck all. Wait till the real bullets start flying. And then we'll see where you're at. To the rest of everybody else, I love yous. Thanks for all your support.
Now, I just want to point something out
Should
before
be
we get
in
into the
jail.
racism. Yeah, totally. I just want to point never trust that the guy leading the insurrection is going to be successful when in his manifesto he says stuff like, use guys.
Yeah.
Use.
Or Garen fucking T.
I don't know if we need to look much further than the glasses.
That's legal contractual jargon, James.
And-
fucking T.
right.
May I point out to the woke crowd, because they'll want to know this too. Yes, he was driving distracted.
Well,
At least he had a collar, a shirt with a collar. That's all.
I can't believe he was driving and texting like that. Whoa.
Was he at that press conference?
We've seen.
Yeah.
No, he's missing apparently. Everybody's where'd Pat King go? Where'd Pat King go? 'Cause
No,
I guess-
he showed up later to that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, they're all there.
I was
fucking losers are there.
what I was going to make a point about that video earlier today that they released is when that money, because I'm stuck on this money. I'm fascinated by the money, right? And when it gets
Asperger's,
and a little bit, but it jumps when it dumps into that Canadian bank account. The fact that they're standing there talking about forming, and they keep using the word forming, and that's a key word here, forming a coalition government. They're immediately in contravention of fundraising laws for elections in this political parties in this, and once the money's here, then it can be seized. So let them send more money, ring the phones, keep sending that money, because once it hits a bank account here, I promise you,
who's going to be a coalition with them?
Oh, they want the PCs and the PPC and NDP to sit down with them.
Dude, they met with the town bike the other night too. Interim leader Candice Bergen from the PC party, the town bike. She met with him. Yeah, she met with the fucking.
Actually,
She's also known in the Convoy community as a best Western stain. So.
Definitely not sandals.
I have
That's
so
called
much.
recall.
Almost, yeah.
I know.
That's called recall.
I believe she's from the Winnipeg area, if I'm not mistaken. I believe
She puts the peg in Winnipeg. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Hotel,
I've got
stories around the airport
I've got
there too.
I've got several firsthand people that hate her that have seen her in action, and they're like, "Hey, here's a story for you." So I got lots of those. So if I ever call her the town bike and she gets mad, I'll just put those out. That's how the game works, I guess.
Just one quickly thing before, because I know we're probably going to go soon. I was talking to Mubin Shaikh on the podcast a couple days ago about that money, and they are playing like a delicate dance, the government and Homeland Security in the States and the FBI, because on the one hand, there's a lot of suspicious activity. Ryan, with the story that you helped break about potential laundering, and it just looks suspicious. And I said to Mubin, listen, like, why wouldn't they have released or allowed that money to go through and then follow the money, give themselves the opportunity to follow the money? And while I said that, I was like, oh, is it because that money could then be released and then used for nefarious purposes, and then it would be almost like the government allowed it to happen? So it's a delicate dance that they have to kind of perform here when it comes to that cash.
That makes sense.
And it's funny because I think you nailed it on the head, because what they originally wanted to do with the GoFundMe money was GoFundMe to stand in front of the House of Commons and testify to where the money was going, where it's coming from, and I think that was supposed to maybe be the stopgap of, okay, it's here, almost like what do you call an intermediary, and but it's already here and it's already in an account here, and they would have put the stop in. But now obviously they're wise to that, so they went and called on Jesus, and Jesus is going to save them and their fundraiser now.
That's so awesome.
Well, by the way, it was really,
handy.
really, really stupid of them to announce for that 10 minutes or whatever it was, a day or two, that if you didn't get your refund, they would just disperse it to charities. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard any organization do.
Because
they said it originally, but then they retracted it. But
right.
Because originally you were supposed to apply for a refund, and whatever was left over after the application deadline, which was February 18th, originally, they said
like
no.
By the seat of their
nothing.
pants.
Well, it's unprecedented. This
Dude, you
is
expect white supremacists to fucking plan? Well,
no, GoFundMe's
No,
GoFundMe's
GoFundMe.
part.
You
Yeah, no,
would've
this
had
was
a better
unprecedented.
plan.
Yeah, nothing like that. Not on this scale, anyway. So then, when they realized that the backlash and how bad that, like James says, how bad that was, they said, no, screw it. We're just going to reverse the transactions all the way back into the accounts, which makes me think, are they cooperating with the federal authorities in the United States? And are they going to turn over evidence of where the money? So depending on what's happening there, right? So
I can tell you this, and I won't say much more.
Which is why I think that it
in
got
2 to
reversed
3
immediately.
weeks, in 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to see all kinds of names that you're like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That guy was involved. That person was involved. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like the government of Canada, and I do know this, is going to make sure that they make an example out of every single fucking piece of shit involved in this insurrection. Every single one. Doesn't matter if you donated $20 or if you donated 20,000, or they're going to show where this stuff came from so they could paint a picture of what happened, right?
It's going to be Junior's just watch me moment is what's going to
Donnie
happen.
Jr. Donnie Jr.'s burn victim Trump. Eric,
No,
same thing. He's in it.
Justin Trudeau.
Oh, never mind.
This is going to be his Pierre.
You know what's funny about
just
the
watch
charity
me moment?
Maybe.
Because
What's that?
we talked about it, and then people started flipping out, and we were getting texts about the charity angle, and I was getting text. People were like, Trudeau's gonna give it to his favorite charities. I'm like, where?
Like he's getting the money.
Come from?
I think these people think that he just can go and do whatever he wants, steal money, give it to people.
Everyone thinks that Justin Trudeau phoned GoFundMe, and he's taking.
It was Jim
control
Watson.
of
If
the
you want,
money.
if you want to know the name behind who fucking led the charge, it was Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson.
Yep.
He was the guy that got the FBI and CSIS involved. So there you go.
But he was being he was being advised by Navigator.
Yeah.
Right. Or at least the
Was
Ottawa
he really?
police. The Ottawa police was being advised by Navigator, and I would bet anything that Navigator has their fingerprints on a lot of the actors that are like the good ones, or at least the law enforcement side, because there was too many things that happened in a span of 2 days. So that it's announced that Navigator, and I'm sorry, but that tweet that I put out of that fucking guy that looks exactly like Todd from Breaking Bad should have had 1 million likes, but I digress. It looked just like him. Anyways, but they started advising the Ottawa police, and then all of a sudden, all these things started happening right away. The funds were frozen. And then Karima's account mysteriously gets suspended. So they're trying to offset the idea that they are pro left wing by trying to remain neutral by banning Karima and things like that. And there was just all these things that just seemed like Jamie Watt had his hands all over this shit. So I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah, there's all kinds of that. I mean, you're going to hear stories about all kinds of this. I mean, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I mean, this is like the story of the year, really. It went from like a bunch of rednecks just going on a field trip to like the people that were involved pushing these rednecks around on the field trip, and they've been co-opted and activated. But anyway, we'll go down that road as we continue to fill out the week. But really appreciate everybody being here today. Ryan Lindley, the Sheeple Shepherd podcast. Download, subscribe. Thanks, Ryan. As always, great to see you at Ryan Lindley on Twitter. That is Sergeant Cletus, James DiFiore. You can go to his account and experience Sergeant Cletus today at James DiFiore on Twitter. Blackballed the podcast. He's got a great one. Just interviewed Dr. David Jacobs. I saw that actually. He and I had a little tete-a-tete the other day.
You did.
Yeah. So congratulations for getting him on. And Lachlan Cross, 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton is where you can find him at 957cruisefm.ca is where you can go and sign up for Pink Shirt Day.
Yes.
February the 23rd, right here. You can watch it if you're a teacher or an educator or someone that wants to talk about bullying and its effects, mental health, parents. Yeah.
We talked to a dad today that's going to sign up with his kids because his kids are being bullied online. And he was like, he sent me a note. He's a business owner. And he sent me a note privately. He said, I heard you guys talking about this. How can I help? I said, well, just share it. Like get the word out there about this and let people know that we're doing this. So yeah.
I just wanted to say I wanted to be a part of that too and talk about the first 6 months of my friendship with you because it was pretty rough. You know?
You'll get over it.
I was thinking a guy like Jesse that we had on yesterday would be great for your talk as well, or your programming. Jesse Miller is a fantastic advocate of how to be right online.
Smart.
I thought about that. I think next year when we do this, we need to focus more on the online side of things. Because that I've had 2 or 3 conversations in the last couple of days since we've started talking about the Pink Day discussion, which, by the way, is being supported and run by the Dean Blundell Podcast Network. It's a station initiative that we've been doing for years, but we're going to make it even bigger and better this year. And we wouldn't have had the connection with the Olympic athletes, Mercedes and Jesse, without Dean and the gang support. So thank you guys for that. But I think next year we need to actually focus entirely on combating and strategies to deal with bullying online because it's not going away. I mean, I brought up that athlete that flipped from being an American because her mom was Chinese and she competed with and people just were all over her. And just saying the worst things you can imagine for her decision. And listen, you can have an opinion about whether she competes for the U.S. or China. That's fair. But attacking this individual online without knowing her and knowing her story is awful. Like it's just, and that's continuous. That's nonstop. I mean, and kids are having to navigate these waters. Like there's kids wandering around 10 years old with phones. Like they have access to the whole world.
It's bad. I was explaining it to my daughter. She's 14. I was explaining to what you guys were doing, and she knows what Pink Shirt Day is already, just because of school. But she was telling me a quick aside. She said a girl or a boy that she went to school with in grade 1, and then they parted ways, went to different middle schools, and then everybody's back in the same high school. Attempted to commit suicide because of online bullying. Thankfully wasn't successful and is getting help and everything else. But the way she told me, like I was shocked. The way she told me, it was almost like it was matter-of-factly. I'm like, either you're a sociopath or this is way too common. And she's definitely not a sociopath. So we really got to open those lines of discussion when it comes to the online stuff.
You're totally right. And the other thing is, too,
they're desensitized to it. It's scary.
And we take a lot of liberties on our show. We have a lot of fun. And so when you get an opportunity, and on this podcast for that matter, and when you get a chance to give back and do something to fill up the karma pot, I think I love the fact that it doesn't take me any convincing whatsoever. I literally on a Saturday night was like, we're going to do this with Dean. Called Dean, and literally 30 seconds later, we were talking about artwork. We were talking about launch dates. Who could we get? ... Emails followed. It's nice to have this support group. So thank you.
Happy to help.
Anything we can do.
23rd of February, Pink Shirt Day is going to be on 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton, and of course right here at deanblundell.com, and you can watch it across the country. You can watch it anywhere in any country, and those links and that information are at 957cruisefm.ca. You can go and sign up there. Your class.
Send me a note. I'll fire you the link. That's easy too.
At Lachlan Cross on Twitter. Thanks, boys. Really appreciate it. Great to see you all again. James D. Fiore, Blackballed the podcast, anywhere you get your fine podcast. Same with Ryan's Sheeple Shepherd podcast. Subscribe anywhere. Lachlan 95.7 Cruise FM in Edmonton. Good to see you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Really
good work, boys.
Good one today, boys.
Love you guys.
Yep. That was a lot of fun. Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Love. I may use harsh language from time to time when it comes to dealing with certain issues and people. But those people deserve it. The rest is love. And keep in mind, I know we talk a lot about heavy shit today, and we talk about having to take on bullies. You're being bullied right now. literally, by Canada's dumbest people. And they're getting help from the States and a couple other countries that really want Canada to fail. Like super want Canada to fail. Punch them right in the fucking face. Not literally. Fight back. Show courage. Stand up. Be funnier than them. Be smarter than them. Ratio them with their own shit. Give them all kinds of rope. And watch them hang themselves. That's what we do with Canadian stuff. That's what we do. We're funny about how we do this, aren't we? We're better than them. All of us are. Every single one of you that isn't at this rally, that doesn't hate this country, is better than every single one of these people. Insurrectionists. You are. Because you care. But the people next to you, they don't. They want Canada to be a fucking disgusting shithole like the United States is. And it ain't. So, stand up. They won't do anything. They're pussies. All of them. That's why bullies bully. Because they're pussies. They don't get what they want, so they fucking act like this. And they're not going to get what they want again. They're going to go home, and they're going to fucking have their lives circumcised, and I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy it. Really enjoy this one. I've enjoyed a couple moments of Schadenfreude, but watching white supremacists with outside motivation and foreign interference try and make Canadians feel like this country is not the incredible country it is ain't my jam. So I am going to take this and insert it into the rectums of that movement. And it's my fault. My jam, really. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget, you can get us at deanblundell.com. Sign up for a newsletter there. Thanks to our friends at Easy Auto Financial. Easy Auto Financial, helping you get in a car. Go to easyautofinancial.ca today, and they'll take care of your financing. They will not charge you for it either. That's how cool they are, and they'll get you the car you need. easyautofinancial.ca. Check them out today. As well as Ed's Fine Imports, edsfineimports.com. He's got Gitch, luxury branded underwear. We wear them all the time. You can too. Gitch3, that's your promo code. Gitch and then the number 3. Order from him today online. He'll send you 4 pairs for the price of 3. That means a free pair of underwear with code Gitch3, edsfineimports.com. And Domination, our friends that help us with content. If you're a podcaster, gamer, streamer, etc., you love doing legacy content, promos, etc., these guys are great, and they're going to help you do it. It's artificial intelligence for podcasters, gamers, and content providers. Makes your job a whole lot easier. Go to domination.com today and check them out. Have a great day. Sign up for a newsletter at deanblundell.com, too. Don't forget, you can join us on YouTube. Hit subscribe at YouTube, Dean Blundell Show on YouTube, and, of course, Twitch TV. That would be Dean Blundell TV on Twitch TV, whatever. And wherever you get your fine podcasts. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Be good to each other. Bye.